We are back at Champion City Comic Con. Yeah, oh yeah, we're back, and here's you another video. Well, Richard, we're back. It's the second half of Champion City. We're in the long stretch. We've had already some amazing creators come on, and we have even more coming up with Mess Comics, with Scoop Hash, and of course with Sean Forney. So I'm really excited. Jesse was supposed to come back. I don't know where he is.
I don't know.
He wanted to plug something, and he disappeared.
Huh? Maybe we went in for more Subway.
So he just messaged me. Let me know when. Well, you got 6 minutes. So how about we'll just say at 2:45, and Jesse will be back. That'll work for me. But next up is going to be the ever-loving Mess Comics. They have a fantastic panel coming up for everybody. Plus, by the way, just so everybody knows, I'm sorry if I sound distracted, but a friend of mine, COVID strikes again. Their manager at the restaurant he works at ended up with it, so he's panicking. Oh my gosh. Oh, poor guy. I feel so bad. But yeah, Mess Comics has this fantastic panel that's going to be coming at you. It is going to be, where's my list? Cabinet of Curiosities. So, yes, I have to look at my notes, okay? I can't memorize everything. With that, we're going to go ahead and bring Miss Christina Wald. Hi.
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, my cat. You might see my cat. she's like joining in. Oh, your cat is there too. Okay, great.
Dog.
Oh, dog. Yes, of course.
And we have a Chihuahua running around and 2 cats. So no, we totally trust me. We get it.
The cats don't understand why you want to interview them all the time.
I don't understand why my cat thinks the PS4 is its own little bed. No.
Well, I mean, it sounds comfortable.
Yeah, fabulously. And I guess we have to bring this guy on too. I mean, he is the guy who runs Mess Comics. This man should need no introduction. It's Jay. Woo! Please tell me you don't have the fart gun. Oh
yeah,
no.
That's over there.
But you guys are actually going to be hosting a really cool panel. Yes. It is called, again, where did my notes go? The Cabinet of Curiosities, which now I have a curiosity. And since Christina has the cats, we all know what's going to happen because we know what happens when the cat got curious. I'm sorry.
I hope not. I hope not. I guess that's a Schrodinger's cat thing too. We put together a group of Cincinnati illustrators to do the Cincinnati Cabinet of Curiosities, which is a comic anthology about Cincinnati's, strange lore, hauntings, cryptids, and urban legends. So it's a really fun project, and the Kickstarter for it ends tomorrow at 10 a.m. So we're really excited about it. If you want to, I think I gave you the cover of it.
Hold on. I give me just a second. We're going to do this to this to this.
I hope I put the cover in there.
Well, we're about to find out. I just have to.
Oh, you did. It's in there.
Would you? Hold on. I've got to pull it up. Oh my gosh, Jay! Just stop. Chill. We have this. Is this it?
Yes, that's it. Beautiful. Yes.
That's pretty. That's pretty.
And
so it's a thing about legends and things. So I should be in here somewhere.
Well, I mean, if you're involved with an urban legend or a haunting, or maybe have done a cryptid sighting.
I am a legend.
Agreed.
No,
Agreed.
thank you.
But we have 6 locations. It is really Jay did you want to talk a little bit about yours, Jay?
Sure. Well, we did was the Mermaids of the Ohio, and you got some go back one, I think, cover art wise, or not cover art wise.
This one?
Yeah. So it's this story that ran in the Enquirer way back in 1800s, and it was about these creatures found on the banks of the Ohio. So I combined that urban myth with
I found somebody.
Cat.
Hey, it's Kat.
Hey,
Yay.
Hi.
Hi, Kat. Welcome.
Hello.
Kat's our editor.
Kat is our editor, and Kat has a catch of lore, not just in the tri-state area, definitely the tri-state area, but beyond that, I would believe, right, Kat?
Oh yeah, I know folklore is my jam, so I really have been researching it for a better part of 15 years. And I'm a trained cultural anthropologist, so there's just, it's literally who I am. And I draw cartoons.
The perfect editor for this. And then let me ask you this question, because I wanted to ask you this question for the cabinet for this panel discussion. How do you organize? I mean, obviously research is important. How do you organize all the research for all the different creatures, myths, covids, and legends?
So I have
I don't know why I say covids. Sorry, that's something else. Keep doing that.
I got what you meant.
That'll be its own legend. Oh my gosh.
I got what you meant. So yeah, I have a file system here in my studio on my, well, you can't see it, but I have a large bookshelf, and it is filled with books, but also a file folder full of location dossiers.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've written 2 haunted history books. So I wrote Haunted Hoosier Halls, Indiana University, and Ohio's Haunted Crimes, which is right behind me, for Schiffer Publishing. So for every one of those books, I have a file folder that is easily 4 inches deep, that is just all the locations, all the field work, all the interviews that I conducted, and then on my, not on this computer, but on a separate external hard drive, I have all the audio and video for those interviews. So my library is quite large.
Yeah, so
and it's not just stuff from my books, it's also side stories that people have told me while I was researching, and also attending events, because I used to do live paranormal events, like what you would see with ghost hunters or ghost adventures. I used to be one of those people.
I want to go with you. I want to go with you. I love ghost hunting. Kat, you're my new best friend. Let's go ghost hunting together. Let's go to Waverly Place. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, Waverly Hills is one of the places I have not been to. The scariest place, and I say that loosely because I don't get scared very much anymore. But I haven't been to Waverly. The Pennhurst State School, which is in Pennsylvania, was by far the most traumatic place I've visited. And that was very much like the hospital that was, I believe, on Long Island. I could go into the very sad story of that, but that would just bring the entire environment down.
All I know is ghost hunting is one of my favorite pastimes just for fun, and you should definitely come here. I live in Oxford, right next to Riley.
Oxford Light.
Yes.
Yes.
There's so many creepy things here. The whole entire town of Riley, which is right next door to us, is completely haunted.
I can believe that. Where was I? That was Bellevue. I think it was Bellevue, Ohio. I ghost hunted there for, it was just I call ghost hunts the ones where you pay to go and you're ghost hunting with a celebrity or somebody notable. Those, I went, that entire town was super haunted. And I was there. I went all over the town. It was great. I loved it. The mineral springs were fantastic. Small little bit of Ohio history that people don't know about and we can write about it for season 2, issue 2 of the Cincinnati Cabinet of Curiosities, because Bellevue's not that far away.
Well,
Yeah, but
and
some of the stories are hard because for the story I did, Mermaids of the Ohio, I wrote the script for, that was just the Inquirer article, which is amazing enough that it was featured in the Inquirer. But like also, how is there? I didn't think there was any more information besides that article. Is that correct?
Yeah, there isn't any documented history besides that. However, when you read the article, it does mention that it was well-known folklore or legend in the area in southern Indiana that these mermaids had been swimming around and seen on this beach. So we know that at one point there was an oral history of these mermaids in the fresh waters of the Ohio River, but anthropology and saving these stories was not a thing back then. So unfortunately, the rest of the reports have been lost to time.
And Amanda, if you're interested in ghost hunting stories, we're doing a podcast now called Hometown Haunts that drops every Wednesday at midnight. And the next episode, we're going to be talking about Loveland Castle, and you're going to be talking about your paranormal experiences there.
Yes. I did an investigation there with my team back in 2011, and we had some spooky stuff happen that was not attributed to raccoons and or possums. Holy crap. So many investigations. I used to be brought on as a historian, so I would do the deep dives into everyone's locations and looking at property records and everything. So I get brought in as this very analytical investigator. So many locations I visited were just infested with squirrels, raccoons, or possums. Or skunks. Those are the worst.
Possum. Skunks are skunks are the worst, but like possums with those eyes and that rat tail. Oh my gosh.
I love possums.
Woo! Yeah, but
Raccoons
the
will
surprise
charge
of
at you, though.
possums, the surprise. Oh my god.
Look, possums are cute. They're easily trainable in kitty litter boxes.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Trust me, I was a zookeeper for 15 years. You can litter box train them. Trust me.
Fascinating.
Skunks, if you can remove the stinker, are just like kitties. Raccoons though are kind of like primates though. When they go through their adolescent phase, they are a terror and a half. Like,
oh, that's interesting.
I'll stick with the possums and the skunks.
Yeah, I like possums.
So what are the stories that we have for this first issue, this premiere issue of Cincinnati Cabinet of Curiosities, besides the Mermaids of the Ohio?
You want me to take this one, Christina?
Yes, please.
And do I have a picture?
That'd be great.
Yes, we do. The picture with all the locations. It's go next one. Yeah, that's
there we go.
Nice.
Yeah. I just quickly downloaded everything. I'm like, remember, just tell me which one it is.
Thank you.
All right. So we got a lovely assortment of locations that is featured this time. So we have the Ohio River Mermaids that we have discussed. We have the Cincinnati Music Hall, which is extraordinarily haunted. The Loveland Frogman, Satan's Hollow, which Christina worked on, Loveland Castle, and mine, Sedumsville Rectory, which was a super haunted and spooky place I visited a few years ago for an investigation / ghost hunt. So.
Now, who are the artists involved?
So I believe you wrote Ohio River Mermaids.
Yes, I know. I'm interviewing and being
I know.
at the same time.
And then your artist was Dylan Spieg.
Yes, who I work with on a regular with Mess Comics.
Yes, which is a wonderful pair. Never break up. And then Brandon Wagner worked on the Cincinnati Music Hall, and his is called Music Hall Horror. And it's based, the way he told the story is very much like the Penny Dreadfuls that you would have read in Victorian America, which is fantastic because it fits the ambiance of the Cincinnati Music Hall, which is very much a Victorian building, very, very well, and all the spirits that live within. Tim Fuller does a wonderful, humorous take on the Loveland Frogman who is dating. And then Christina did a wonderful job with Satan's Hollow and making it feel so much more spooky yet humorous. And then Rodney Fike did Loveland Castle and a wonderful take on the Twilight Zone and the history of the Loveland Castle and how it came to be. And then myself, I did Sedumsville Rectory and this spooky, just short horror story. And
Nice.
that's all of us.
Now, what I really
do have,
like about it,
I will admit, yes, Music Hall is totally haunted because that's where my prom was at.
Really?
That's cool. Tell me about the prom.
I graduated in 1997 from Oak Hills High School, and our prom was at Cincinnati at the Music Hall. And at first, you didn't really notice anything, but as people started leaving, but people weren't leaving because there's still a lot of people there, but those people weren't really there.
So, what hall were you in? Do you remember what exhibition hall? Was it the north or south?
it was a ballroom, wasn't it?
It was a room, and I'm going to be honest, I have drank since then.
Let's say a ballroom.
But I'm also one of those kids that I was 17 when I graduated, and I'm like, someone's like, oh, Kitty goes up the stairs. Bye, Kitty. Sorry. As soon as I heard, let's go check this place out, I didn't stay in the prom very long and almost got in trouble with security too. So, but yeah, I've always believed in ghosts. My granny's house was haunted by they look like an old Victorian couple. I used to see them early in the mornings, and I'm just like, well, those are real, but cool.
Yeah.
And I've also seen, these stuff fascinates me because I love hearing other people's stories and I love hearing other people's takes on everything, because you go through and go, did I really see that? Did I not really see that? Did I really experience that? Like, the only time you really experience it is when you go from the ghosts to the demons and you're like, yeah, I experienced that and I don't want to do that one again.
Right.
But yeah, Music Hall is definitely haunted. You can hear, when you're in certain hallways, you can hear music that's not supposed to be there. Trust me, they're not playing classical music at a 1997 prom.
No,
they're not.
No,
there's none of that going on. But you can hear it in the hallways of certain parts, and you would just see like either like an orb or like half of a apparition or something just walk across. And of course, we were there to party, so none of us had anything. These did not exist in 97. Sorry. So I couldn't record it for you.
Yeah. The flash photography is terrible for taking any photos at locations. But I just love it when you see half of a ghost walk by. Like, I have personally witnessed ghostly feet and ghostly hips down to the feet walk across the street.
That's what I saw. It was just this half. Like, you saw like the trail of the train, and you kind of saw the feet, kind of, but all I saw was like the skirt and the legs sticking out, and I'm just like,
that's not right.
Did I have too much to drink? I'm not quite sure.
Mine, I know I was sober, and because I was waiting for a light to change at a stop at a walk at a zebra crossing, and it was on Indiana University's campus in Bloomington. And it was a location where there have been a lot of car accidents. And I was just standing there waiting to go to the convenience store across the street. And I saw a pair of acid wash jeans, complete with a hardware belt and the checkered Van slip-ons, walk across the street from the other side. And that's all I saw. There was no person. And the other two, there was a couple next to me who also witnessed it. And you could just see, they're just like, what is going on? And by this time, I have been studying the paranormal for long enough that I was like, oh, that's fascinating. I wonder why I am seeing this.
My question would have been like, of all the things you had to die in, you poor thing.
It makes it very easy to date ghosts.
Oh, you poor thing. You died in acid wash
jeans.
Oh, my God. You're never crossing over.
Oh, man.
So, obviously, Kat, you've been ghost hunting. You've seen things. Christina, Jay, have you ever experienced or thought you've experienced stuff like that?
Well, we've talked about this actually extensively on the podcast. We think we have a poltergeist in our house. So we've had some weird, things happen. And we actually just had a medium for our Halloween episode, so you'll have to catch up on the. And what did she said? She saw some animals around us. She saw
Yes, she
a
did.
bird next to you.
Yeah, but like flying around next to me was a small
Yes.
bird, which is
And-
interesting because I've never had a bird read on me before. That sounded weird.
But animals can be ghosts too. I'm telling you this right now because the ghost of my baby boy Ty lives in my apartment.
Mhm.
Well, these aren't necessarily ghosts. They're more like spirit animals or like a
Well-
Patronus. So,
That's cool, but no, mine's a ghost.
yeah.
Yeah, she talked a lot. I mean, and there's a couple people we've talked to lately that have talked a lot about like animal ghosts and stuff like that. There was a woman also that came on our podcast that just wrote a book for Abrams called Ghosts Unveiled.
Yeah.
And,
creepy but true, Ghosts
Yeah.
Unveiled.
And she talked about in her book animal ghosts and people's experiences with them.
Mhm.
That was she's actually local too. She lives in, I believe, Sharonville.
It was Blue Ash.
Yeah, Blue Ash. That's what it is. Because she was a little worried about the portal to hell that was opened there. Because that's what my story for the Cincinnati Cabinet of Curiosities is about. Is a drain system where they opened a portal to hell. And so all people I knew that lived in Blue Ash said, "Oh my gosh, you mean there's a portal to hell here?"
Yeah,
And-
it's called Ohio.
Well, it's
There's
interesting.
a hellmouth in Blue Ash. Nice.
Well, it's interesting because we did some research and portals to hell and drains seem to be like a not uncommon thing. Like there's a giant one in New Jersey, not surprising. But it seems to be, I think there's something about we have these giant architectural systems in drains. In some cities, they're quite extensive. Some are quite old. So there tends to be a lot of lore. Kids like to sneak into places like that and take pictures, and they seem very spooky. But the
Mhm.
stories about them seem very made up. That's why they're urban legends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As a-
but talk of what you're saying about holes and portals to hell. I mean, Bobby Mackey, they have that well that is a portal to hell, and yeah, it's like, okay, don't want to go there.
You can. I've been there.
I've not been to Bobby Mackey's. I
If
want to
you
go
are
so
allergic to tobacco products, you will have epileptic shock and need an EpiPen.
I am not, because I come from the generation where parents still smoked while we were in the womb.
Yeah, so do I, but I am
Hardens the
terribly
bones.
allergic to
Hardens
it.
The bones.
Yeah, and
Cigarettes, no. The other form of cigarettes that's not legal in every state, yes, I actually am.
Well, for me, I did a lot.
We know,
of theater.
Jay, we know about you. You're haunted by your own thoughts.
Oh,
That's very deep.
I do
That
get
is
haunted
very
by
deep.
writer's block quite often, but I did a lot of theater, Xavier Theater, No Theater, those kind of places, and I don't know the past history of it, but there's something about we always have the ghost light on, so there's a lamp on stage, it's just a light bulb, that kind of thing. But when you're there by yourself with the ghost light, you swear you can hear breathing, presence, something in the theater. I think there's something about the way a theater is designed where you can feel the presence of something else, someone else, multiple things. I'm not sure.
Ooh.
oh yeah,
It
theaters
seems-
are famously haunted because
yeah.
people have so many emotions attached to theaters. So it's not surprising when you go to even like small little vaudeville theaters in small towns around the Midwest, they'll always have one or two ghosts lurking. Some of them are patrons, some of them are actors or actresses that met their grisly end in like alleyways behind there. So, and then they're all attracted to the center, which is the stage, because
There's so
just
much
how they're
emotion, there's so
built.
much activity. Yeah, absolutely.
They gravitate to that center because the way that stages are built, you're supposed to focus there.
And then
So-
also any sound from either the audience or on the stage is amplified in different directions as well. It's almost
Mhm.
like it's kind of like the Whispering Fountain at Union Terminal. They have that Whispering Fountain. So it's like just the design of it and the way sound travels.
Yeah, those are always spooky.
Hotels are also very infamous for hauntings. A lot of people go there to commit suicide or they commit murders, things like that. So hotels have a lot of secrets that are left with the undead.
Just don't go looking around with a black light. That's all.
Oh.
Oh, come on.
Someone knows this from experience.
Yeah, I know for our next issue, I'd like to highlight Newport, Kentucky, and Covington, and the ghostly history of those places, because we have a lot of brothels in Newport, a lot of speakeasies, and that was really a history of Cincinnati we didn't touch on too much in this particular issue. But I do like the stories we did touch on here with the mermaids and how we brought in the post-Civil War era, slightly pre-Civil War area. Cincinnati was a huge player in that, with escaped slaves going north towards Canada or towards the Connecticut. Was it the Connecticut Purchase is what we discovered, Christina, up around Cleveland?
Oh yeah, you were talking about the house system there, and the house that was torn down, the mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was something like that. I don't remember the specifics.
Yeah. It's
on the podcast.
It is on the podcast. We talked about Black laws and the Civil War and all in the ghost stories associated with that.
No, it's just really interesting because right here in this tri-state area, I mean, it is between the blue and the gray. I mean, it is between the north and the south right here. And so it's almost like so much different kinds of history that we can tap from. So from all the stories that I've been hearing from you two and the podcast and everything, there's just a plethora of stories, and I'm glad we've kind of latched onto this because there's so many anthologies that are artists and writers contribute, and it's their perspectives, it's maybe their original characters or their stories and that kind of thing. And what I like about our anthology is not only is it a kind of shows the talents in the area, but it also has that underlying theme of just all the different legends, myths, and cryptids that are around the area. And I think that kind of gives it two front, especially when you happen to do a Kickstarter right before Halloween. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the Kickstarter's gone really well.
My God.
Yeah. It's been really it's done really well. And it's up tomorrow at 10 a.m. So if people are interested in getting and backing it, there's just a few hours left, but it's pretty exciting.
Is the time that it ends, the time, not the day, is the time when it ends correlate with when we launched it? Is that how it works?
You can make it you can make a Kickstarter last as long as you want to. Now, I don't know how you can actually have your Kickstarter last 60 days. Now, I don't know how someone copes with it being that long. I think that this has been long enough. My day job is I illustrate children's books and stuff. So I've been making a lot of flaming skull animations for this, and really I need to be doing like artwork for my books that are due. So,
Christina, where can they find the flaming skulls so they can check? There you go. Where can they find the flaming skulls? The Kickstarter, and then what's the Facebook page?
Facebook page, just look up Cincinnati Cabinet of Curiosities, and it should show up.
Nice.
And that's our Kickstarter page.
Look at that goal. Look at that stretch goal. My God.
Yeah. We're super excited. And, this is good because it will help seed the next issue too, which we already have kind of a short list of dossiers that we're looking at for topics for the next issue. I know someone already is interested in doing one on Serpent Mound. And one of the stories we learned about on our podcast was that there was a medium in Price Hill who actually consulted with Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Ooh. And Houdini came to debunk her, and and then her son invented the magic 8-ball, and that's all part of Cincinnati history. So that's something we hope to cover in the next book as well.
Now, sorry to rewind on the Kickstarter.
Yes,
we added a couple of great local artists with the stretch goals. Who are some of the artists that we're featuring?
Do you want me to go? We added some. We added some pinups to the original 36-page comic, so now it's 40 pages, and we have Jamie Filer, who did the Mothman, Anthony Tank Mansfield did Grassman, who is basically Ohio's Bigfoot. So it's all regional. Yeah, it's all regional cryptids. Lauren Sparks did there it is.
Yeah,
she did the Pope Lake Monster.
She did the goat.
Monster. Yeah, that's
the one in the bridge.
Sparks. That's so cool. I love her.
And then our local Cincinnati political cartoonist Kevin Necessary did the Frogman.
Nice.
And so now those are in the book as well. That was one of our stretch goals. So those are beautiful pieces too.
I love them so much. It shows the diversity of artistic talent and also our creepy creatures in the Cincinnati, Ohio Valley region.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves local cryptids. Kat and I keep joking that, cryptids are like the Boba Fett of paranormal. Like, there's very little written about them, but everybody loves them so much, even though, there's so little written about them. Like the Frogman, there's very little about, but people, just go crazy for him.
Yeah, the Loveland Frogman is internationally known because I've translated toys that were made in Japan and made just for Japanese consumption, as in people buying them, not actually eating them. But that'd be a little odd. But anyway, people will send me the little insert packets because they want to know what's being said about it and how they're interpreting the Frogman, because it's a lot like a kappa, which is a water spirit in Japanese mythology, but he's well known, and because there's only 2 recorded incidents, well, now 3, of the Frogman being seen, and 2 of them were in the 70s, and the last one was in 2016. So that he's truly the Boba Fett of the cryptids, because we only have a few instances of him being around, and then he's just taken off as being. If you make a list of cryptids in the United States, he's always near the top. And there's only been 3 eyewitness encounters, and then 2 of them later recanted their experience.
And artists love to draw the cryptids. I mean, anytime, and the Frogman, you'll say, which cryptid do you want to draw? And it's always the Frogman or Mothman. Those are the top 2, I think. Everybody wants to draw them.
Yeah, we got people going.
The Mothman Museum, I went to that. Oh my gosh. That was just a creative display of just sightings and just theories and everything about Mothman.
Just so y'all know, in case you didn't see it, Cassandra Colton is saying, I'm loving listening to this group. Very interesting and informative.
Oh, thank you.
I thank you.
And one thing we didn't cover in this issue, but we may have a little bit in the next issue was aliens and UFOs and that sort of thing, which apparently the Serpent Mound has had some, and you said Norwood actually has had some paranormal activity, or not paranormal, but UFO activity.
Well, paranormal too, but
yeah.
So what we have going back,
I'm not going to Norwood to find out. I'm sorry.
Well, it's interesting. So they built a water tower on the Hopewell Mound feature in Norwood. Ooh. So yeah, if you're just driving through Norwood and you see the water tower, that's actually on top of an ancient mound that was built for a reason we have not figured out yet as of the recording this show. And ironically, around a lot of the Hopewell culture features around the state, it's not just around Cincinnati, and it's not just in Ohio, because the Hopewell culture was huge. But there are UFO activity reported around all these features, such as Serpent Mound in Chillicothe, Ohio. You also get it all the way up near Wright Pat Air Force Base, but you also have Fort Ancient Burial Mound. It's also a park. It's a state park, at least, which is just 40 minutes north of Cincinnati. And that has UFO and paranormal ghost apparitions reported in that area. And for those who don't know, the Hopewell culture was a Native American First Nations culture that was huge. It spread all over the eastern side of the United States, and they did trade with people all the way down to the Olmecs, down in Guatemala, through Mexico, and up through Canada. So it's a fascinating early culture that we have in North America, and a lot of our current nations are sprouted from them. So, but we unfortunately don't know a whole lot about them, and that we do have anthropologists working on that as we speak.
I still want to know whose bright idea was it to put a water tower in Norwood over something like that. Like Norwood wasn't bad enough. Let's try something new.
Oh, that will go into a big can of worms of valuing history over practicality.
Oh, hey. By the way,
Which
you really,
Cincinnati's
seriously,
really good.
you would love it here. We have 7 Indian burial grounds in Riley. 7 of them. 7. And there's an old church that I had an experience where you heard the organ and the pews and everything playing. And the tombstones there date all the way back to the 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. And I dropped my ID and I had to go back for it. And when I found my ID, I said, "Oh, thank God." And this voice came from the church that said, "Praise him." And I'm like, "I'm out. I gotta go.
Wow,
I'm
that's
gone.
really cool.
I'm out." I didn't care. I was gone. No, because it was like, "Praise him." Nah, I got my ID. See ya. Bye. No, I don't want to do this anymore. The shadow men are going to start coming. No.
Shadow men aren't bad. I mean, they're kind of annoying because if you go to like Mansfield Reformatory,
Some can be.
like, "Hey, look, a chick," and they just all come at you, and you're just like, "No, come on, guys, no."
My friend Tyler, who plays games with me, got kicked out of a tree by one.
Really?
Wow.
Mhm.
What, just all of a sudden he was just pushed?
He was. It was. So in Riley, where my friend Tyler grew up, they lived across the street from a church and a cemetery, and shadow men would come and they would just constantly mess with him. And it's just like, and I was like, whatever. And then we were driving through there and I was like, "Oh, look, your dad's up. The attic light's on." He's like, "My dad doesn't go into the attic. My dad's asleep." I was like, "No, the attic light's on." And so I called up his dad, and I woke his dad up. He's like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, I thought you were up. We were going to stop by." I was like, "I saw the attic light on." He's like, "I don't go in the attic." And the attic light turned off and I went, "We're going home."
Wow.
Oh my God.
I love that place. That sounds fun.
The pizza place, before they changed stuff, the lights used to flicker when you went into the pizza place to eat. The firehouse there is haunted, and the graveyard where Tyler's mom is buried, back when Shiga was younger and could see, because she just turned 18 and she's blind. She was playing with a little ghost boy. We have some EVPs, which are somewhere, don't know where, and you heard like, "Sit," and she go, and at the time I was recording it, so you could see she go sit. You could hear on the recording, you could hear on the tricorder the voices, and you could put the two together, and you're just like, she doesn't even do that for me, and I'm her mom.
Well, this is a good segue. We're looking for people's hometown haunts to read on the air. So if you want to type up some stuff, we'll read some of these on our show. We're interested in hearing people's experiences.
Yeah, I'm on a quest to collect as many personal experiences as possible, just to keep them, because it's interesting how many people have very similar personal experiences, even though you may live in vastly different parts of the world. And I find that fascinating, how people will report seeing shadow men, and you will see a shadow man description from, let's say, South Africa, and it's very similar to one that you would get in like Plymouth, Massachusetts. And why are we getting these ghosts that are described exactly the same way in vastly different cultures and times in some cases? Why are we seeing them the same way? So
right. I agree with you. I think it's absolutely fascinating. I'd be more than happy. You're going to have to tell me when I have to stop, because I have many stories for you.
Well, email them to our email address, which is CINCY.
Cincy Curiosities.
Cincinnati Cabinet of Curiosities.
Yeah,
No,
well, we have
Cincinnati Curiosities.
It's
okay.
CINCYCURIOSITIES@gmail.com.
And if I remember that, I will send it. If not, I'll go, "Here, Jay, take this."
Or send it to
Absolutely.
Jay, or
Send
you
it
can
to me.
find it. Yeah, you can find our email.
Remember, yes, I do now have all your emails right here now.
Yes. So you can send them to us too.
That's how I coordinate. Reply all.
But definitely check out our YouTube page, and you can catch up on the episodes already. And we're always
subscribe to it.
Yes,
if we
subscribe.
get enough people, we can get a vanity URL and become a lot more simple to find.
Trust me, I know. I was so excited when I was like, "Oh, look! Now my name can be on my URLs."
Yes,
Lovely.
that's exactly what we're looking for. So,
okay, Kat, this has to be a question for you because I know my answer. Do you consider yourself more sensitive than normal people because you see a lot more than what the average person probably sees? Do you feel that you're more sensitive, and so they're attracted to you more?
Yes,
I knew.
I've run into it way too often where I'll see somebody, like being in Gettysburg, I have to have somebody like my husband around who I can poke and say, "Do you see him?" Because sometimes you can't tell the reenactors from the ghosts there. Same with Antietam. It's very striking the way that they show themselves. That makes it sound weird. But like in Gettysburg, we were there for a show for my old radio show. We would do events where we would get listeners together and we would just legend trip the area, meaning that it was very casual. We would just go to historic locations, geek over the history, and then we would do a ghost hunt at a private residence that is just off of the battlefield. So first time I had been in Gettysburg was 2014, I think. I get out of the car at the hotel I'm staying at, which is actually, it used to be on the battlefield. It no longer is on it. But when the actual battle happened, the entire city of Gettysburg was in it. And there's these two young men who are maybe 18, maybe slightly younger, with the federal troop capelet and their hat, and they're all wearing cotton blue, and they're just walking through the parking lot. And I turned to one of my friends who was participating but had arrived slightly before me, and I was like, "Hey, look, there's reenactors," and they're like, "There's no one there," and I'm like, dang it.
Got it. Because a lot of people talk about how children are very susceptible, animals are very susceptible, and then there's mediums and psychics and stuff, but then there's that in between where there's people that are very sensitive. They give off more things, and more things interact with them than the average person normally gets. And you just seem like that type of person, being one myself, because I get the story of I got bit in the head by a ghost. So
that sounds interesting and should be recorded for hometown haunts.
Exactly.
But I just find it fascinating because, like, you're telling your story of Gettysburg, and while you're telling that, I'm reliving my trip to Louisiana in 2001 for Mardi Gras and going through the cemeteries down there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at her outfit. Who? Her right there. Who? Her. She's right there. The one that looks like a mammy from Gone with the Wind. Why can't you see her? There's nobody that. She's right there. Oh, she's not right there. Got it.
Yeah. And it also, you start running into other types of entities too when you've been in this for long enough. And it's not always just, I'm not going to say demons are everywhere, because no, they're not.
Not, but they are there.
They exist, but I've never run into one. So, not saying that doesn't mean that's not the end all be all of things, but you're more likely to run into like what is classically known as jinn, not drink. And though they have a really good habit of impersonating not only ghosts, but they can impersonate demons and other folklore entities. So you just start reading energy levels and going, well, you may not be what you are presenting as. And that is my metaphorical minute.
Well, I mean, that's the thing that's so fascinating about this topic. We could probably do 10 anthologies,
Yes.
on this topic. And so that was one reason it attracted us for our comic anthology, was we knew it was something that we could do, every year and never be short of stories.
Yeah. And
And it's also giving you an opportunity to be able to diverge it with other things, like some of the stuff that we've talked about. People who are mediums, people who might be more sensitive, looking at from the point of view of a child to, you're talking about not everything is a demon, even though I know they exist. But there's people that believe that if a monster of a person dies, if they stay and they don't cross over, it's amplified how much of a monster that they are in their spirit form.
Yeah, and that happened at Sedumsville Rectory.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was...
That's a scary story that Kat tells on the podcast there, where she talks about her Sedumsville experience. Like the hair raises on your back of your neck.
That was a crazy night. But yes, you're absolutely right. I know I visited locations that really just look mundane from the outside, and you step inside and you're like, I know somebody who is a terrible human being has been here. And it makes you feel gross and oily, I guess.
That you just have like this feel of needing to throw up, but you can't. There's something stuck there, and your skin kind of crawls, and you know it, but you can't pinpoint where it's at. Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Too well.
Yeah.
I think her and I are sisters from different mothers because we have a lot in common.
I think so.
But no, this sounds fascinating. And you said your podcast is where again?
If you search Cincinnati Cabinet of Curiosities on YouTube, you should be able to find it. In a podcast, it should come up. And the banner says Hometown Haunts, and you'll see all of our videos there.
Yeah.
And usually I have it set up now that the most recent episode has featured, if you're visiting there.
I have not.
You got a new subscriber. You're getting your URL.
Hooray!
Thank you.
Oh no, my pleasure. I've always been into stuff like this. And not that you should believe everything that you see on something like Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures or anything like that. You really shouldn't. Remember, these are for entertainment purposes. That's not to say that they don't catch actual evidence, but you do need to be very wary. But there is a nice thing about those shows coming to light, is because before you talked about stuff like this, you were going to end up in a little padded room with a straitjacket on you. Now you could talk about it and people are like, no, then you have two people. Yes, maybe. Well, three. Yes, maybe. And are you insane? That's not real. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's made it a lot more easy to talk about out in the open, and a lot of people will say it's surprising how many people have experiences, and in the end I don't think it really is that surprising. Everyone has loved ones and pets who have died, and around this time of year especially, we get them coming back, and I think it's very almost loving when it's not a terrible human spirit. But I think it's very comforting to people to have loved ones come back. And it feels very cruel to say that they never can.
Well, there's other cultures that truly embrace this. You have the Day of the Dead.
Which is today.
Yeah. I mean, people embrace that. It's when they talk about bringing your loved ones back and they get to rise back from the dead, it's not supposed to be something terrifying or scary. It's supposed to be a way to remember them forever, to show true love and things like that. And it's another thing that I think that Americans are like, and it's like, no, you just need to learn to embrace it. It's actually really cool. I'm not saying you should embrace the thing that's throwing dishes across your house and possessing you, but maybe your loved one, yes.
No way. He's having a temper tantrum.
I'm gonna put you in a timeout. I'm gonna put you in that little ghost corner if you don't stop throwing my dishes. Do you know how expensive those are?
Well, that's one thing that's interesting hearing people's experiences, is there's a lot of common tropes that, and we kind of talk about those when we read people's experiences. Like you were talking about running water being very typical, trips, people seeing relatives getting on trains, on trips. There's like a couple different things. A lot of people, it's a common human experience, and this kind of shows how often it happens and how much it means to people.
And the other fascinating thing is that urban legends, like let's say Bloody Mary, her story changes depending on where you are. Now they're becoming a little bit more similar because of the internet, but if you look at historical writings or just even stuff pre-96, basically, you'll see very diverse regional differences between how Bloody Mary, or another good example would be La Llorona, and how she's depicted. She haunts Klein Avenue in Gary, Indiana, but she also famously is in Mexico. So, and how she shows up in all these different places changes, and it fits the cultural demographic of the area. And that's also very fascinating. And even how they're all kind of becoming similar in adopting the most popular version of the ghost story.
Well, guys, all I have to say is originally I was like, maybe they could just do it on their own. I'm so glad I stayed. I'm just so glad I stayed.
Yay!
Richard, all your questions were fabulous. But no, I'm so glad that I stayed, because this is one of my favorite things. I love this. I only get to do this in past times when I get to go ghost hunting, and being able to talk to people. I like, all right, now I know I could go to Kat and go, oh my God. And then there was this incident, and she's going to be like, cool. Yeah. My new best friend right here. I still love you, Jay, in the weird way of our friendship and how it works. And Christina, you're fabulous, but this is my woman. I'm taking her, and congratulations.
I see her enough. You can have her.
Oh, no, Jay.
I see her enough. Come on. We're done.
Christina and Jen may have something.
Yeah.
But of course, for those of you wondering where people can find you guys, let's see. I know I have Kat. She is on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And then, no, I'm not saying your last name because I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's Cloco.
Cloco.
And you can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Red Cat Comics.
At Red Cat Comics.
Mm-hmm.
That will be for Twitter and Instagram.
Yes.
Look, it's just what I do. Christina, I have your Facebook link right here as well for you, and I know your last name is Wald.
Yes. And my Instagram is CSW Yellowcat, spelled YELLOKAT.
Okay, CSW
YELLOKAT.
Thank you. I'm like, what? Wait,
it was. I got my Instagram account when they said you shouldn't use your name, and I really regret not using my name, because I put this kind of weird username thing. But now I'm too deep in, so people have to look up the weird name.
And of course, guys, don't forget to check out their YouTube channel. Boom.
Yes, please
Cincinnati
do.
Cabinet of Curiosity.
Yes.
Of course, make sure that you check out the Kickstarter, same name, but if you want the link, there's the link right there. I don't know why Kickstarter, I never understood why Kickstarter doesn't put the name in the link. It makes no sense to me. You're just a number for some weird reason. And of course,
so many people kickstarting.
And of course, as always, you can find more about Jay and all of his stuff, and he's messed comics everywhere. He's just messed up.
Absolutely.
But seriously, guys, I had no idea what the panel was going to be about, and I'm so glad that I stayed. This has been absolutely fascinating. So thank you, Jay, for putting this together. Thank you for being part of the Champion City Comic Con. And I will definitely get with you guys and tell you some of my stories. And
Please do.
Yes.
I'm going to listen to the podcast. I love it.
Yay!
All right.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you need to say before you go?
No, thank you for having us. It's been fun.
Yes, thank you for having us, and thanks,
you
Jay.
You and I have to have a date at Waverly. This has to happen. All right.
When it opens up again, we will do Waverly. We can take Christina with us, and maybe Jen. I don't know if Jen will want to go, but she's coming now.
Oh, I think Jen would like it. I dragged her to Satan's Hollow, and I have a great video of her saying, "I can't believe you made me get up on a Sunday and walk a mile to get here." So we're good at torturing our friends. So
Show our love.
All right, guys. Again, thank you guys so much.
Thank
and
you.
I will see you all soon.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jay.
Bye.
Bye.
You're still on the wrong side. Get over here. Jesse, are you back? Yep, she's back. He's back. Hi, Jesse.
Oh, that's me.
Yes, that's you. You have a shameless plug to plug, so plug it.
Well, first I want to talk about that last panel. That looked so fun. I was watching it upstairs in the background while I was watching my I was watching some soccer and I had that going on. But
Do
that
you
was
believe
really
in ghosts?
Do what?
Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't know that I believe in ghosts, but I believe that you can trick yourself. Like honestly, at midnight, at certain times in certain places, I believe in ghosts. But in the daylight, intellectually, I'm like, nah, there's no such thing. But
New thing for Jesse. We're gonna start the AGP takes Jesse ghost hunting show.
okay, that works. All
Anyway,
right, so,
what were you gonna say about the panel?
nothing. It was just that was really fun. I like that sort of thing. I don't know that I believe in that sort of thing all the time, but like I said, at midnight in a graveyard, yeah, I believe in ghosts.
If it gets him out of there so he can go home and watch soccer.
Right. That was really fun. I'm glad that you put that together. I'm glad that they were available. That was really interesting.
I always bring you the best of the best.
Absolutely.
So of course, now it's time for your shameless plug.
It is. It's time for my shameless plug. Like we mentioned before and a couple hours ago, to help replace the loss of the conventions, I've been selling comic books online. The what's it say?
Amanda's face when he said that we could trick ourselves, and I just went,
Well, it's true. Anyway,
no.
I run some Facebook reply auctions and some bin auctions in our Facebook group, which is Gem City Comics on the Facebook. And then I'm going to show you some graded books here that I have here for sale throughout the year. If you're interested in them, you can contact me through Facebook or at info@gemcitycomiccon.com. I know I didn't forewarn you with all those links, but I'm sure Amanda will get them up. So first thing I'm going to show you is this Batman 404. It is 404, right? Yeah, 404. This is the beginning, and these are graded. When I'm selling expensive stuff like this, I like to sell online. I like to sell them graded because then you know that what condition this is in, and you can feel confident in buying them, believing in what condition they are. But if you're interested in any of these, this is the Death of Electra. If you're interested in any of these, like find those links and send me an email about which one you're interested in, and I can shoot you a price. The cool thing about this one, this is a fairly common book, but is the gold edition. It's got gold in the lettering. And that makes that a little bit rare. That's fun to watch. Here's one of my favorite books, and I've loved this book for a long time. This is Heir to the Empire. It's a Star Wars book, but it's also, if you look here in the background, that's a wrong finger, right here. That's Thrawn. This is Thrawn's first appearance in comics. I'm a huge Timothy Zahn fan, and I love Thrawn. Here's one I know that you all know. This is a really hot book right now. This is the first Beta Ray Bill in 9.0. So be sure to send me a link asking for the price on that one. And I have the next one in this series if you're interested in picking up two of them. Here, if you grew up in the 90s, you've got to have this book. This is Sonic the Hedgehog #1 in 9.0 condition. Here's a really hot book right now, which is the She-Hulk. I sold my 9.8s, and I've got a 9.6 here for sale. If you're interested in one of those, be sure to drop me a link or a line. This is a fun book. I got to read this before I slabbed it. It's Sabrina #1. Not the first appearance of not the first appearance of Sabrina. That would be Archie Madhouse Annual 22. I don't know. Here's a famous book, Neil Adams, Green Lantern. This is where Speedy comes up as a junkie. It's in 7.0 condition, which is a good condition to have it in because it's extremely affordable in this grade. So drop me a line if you're looking for that. Now here's some more expensive stuff. if this book hasn't quite hit its stride yet, but it will soon. Masters of Kung Fu. This is the first title change. This is when it became Masters of Kung Fu, and this is Shang-Chi's first appearance. It's kind of pricey these days. Everyone knows which one this is. This is the Death of Gwen Stacy, and there again, it's in an affordable grade. This book in 9.0 or above is extremely expensive, but this is manageable. So it's a good investment book. I think that it's got nowhere else to go. Now, this is my favorite one, or the one I want to sell the most. It is an expensive book, but there again, in 4.0 grade, it is affordable to most of collectors. This book in 9.0 or more, you could check it out, but we're talking like $10,000 plus. So that makes this very affordable. It's universal grade, no restoration, in 4.0. The last one I want to show you, just because it's pretty hot now, but it's going to be the next hot book until the movie comes out. This is the first appearance of Omega Red. You can get it's X-Men #4 in 9.8. So right now this book is, if I had to guess, I haven't looked it up, but I think it's like maybe $80, maybe $100, and it's got nowhere to go but up. So if you're investing into books, or if you like to have it for your collection, be sure to drop me a line, info@Gem City Comic Con, or find me on Facebook, or find the group. Join the group right now. It's open to the public. Anybody can join in. I have weekly reply auctions. We do some waffles, and because you're not allowed to say raffle. And then there's everybody in the group posts up stuff that they want to sell. So jump in there, ask me what I want for these books, and I'll shoot you an unreasonable price, and we can work from there.
That sounds fantastic. By the way, can we see that one with Admiral Thrawn one more time?
Oh, the Thrawn book. I've actually got 2 of these.
Only because I know the people that are sitting in the background can hear me.
Right.
I know they can. And I'm about to have so much fun with this.
All right. So this is the Heir to the Empire. This is the
Heir to the
adaptation
Empire.
of the book. What?
Timothy from Timothy Zahn, the true sequel to Star Wars, Shane, not what Disney produced.
I would have liked to have seen a Thrawn. I would like to have seen this adapted. And this was the book that kept me into what became the expanded universe, because I loved Thrawn. I loved this series, and I read every Star Wars fiction book that came out, and when they threw it all away, I felt bent. I'll tell you that right now. But I've got another one. I think I've got one. What is this? 9.2. I think I might have a 9.6 of this book. So keep an eye out for it. You can still find these in cheap dollar bins and stuff like that. Raw, this book goes for about $50, and I think in this condition, or in this grade, just to make a wag at it, I think it's like $80. I could be wrong. So don't quote me on that if you want that book. But I'm a huge fan.
I just had to harass somebody. Our two next guests are from Scoop Hash. And there's the thing of Shane likes the new sequels from Disney. And I am in agreement with Thomas that no, the Timothy Zahn books are the right sequels to the Star Wars movies.
Timothy Zahn they are fantastic, and the new movies are just what they are.
They're Disney fanfic.
I wouldn't disagree with you, but I'll tell you what, I'm just of the opinion that they're not for me anymore. I mean, they're not made for me. My children love them, and they love the prequels too, which I thought was weird. But my kids loved them, and I'm not their target audience anymore. Now, to that said, a lot of the other Disney stuff is just fantastic. Like, I love The Mandalorian, although I love it for what it is. I don't think it's the next coming of Star Wars, but I think I like keeping that going. I enjoy it. I don't think it's great, but it's good. All right, I'm going to start embarrassing myself. So take it, somebody. Richard, say something.
Richard, talk.
Star Wars.
He's like, I can't talk because everything I'm going to say is Mandalorian and a spoiler.
Oh, did I say something? Did I spoil something?
No, I'm saying Richard would. You got to watch out. Richard has a bad motivator, so.
Right. That should be his new nickname. He's R4.
R4D5. Yeah. I'm gonna change all your stuff on social media. Watch it. But next coming up are a couple of YouTubers. These guys cover everything from what's going on in pop culture news to they have these amazing gaming videos. So they do Let's Plays. They're hilarious. They're old school type gamers too. The be yourself, be raw, and be entertaining. They're a lot of fun. Meeting them has been absolutely amazing, and I'm very glad that they were able to join us. So, Jesse, I'm going to say goodbye to you, and I'm going to bring on the guys from Scoop Hash.
Cool.
Hello, Shane.
Hi. Hello. Thank you so much for that introduction before I even came on screen.
I saw you. I saw that comic. I was like, I've got to get that back. I've got to make fun of Shane. I just have to.
I know.
After our, what was it, almost 2-hour conversation last night? Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I saw and heard him mention a Star Wars, and I knew.
That's totally fair.
I had a feeling.
Sorry, headset's dying.
No worries.
But so Richard, say hi to Shane and Thomas from Scoop Hash.
Hello.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
You have to be very careful with Richard. If you let him, he just won't shut up. It's horrible. Oh my god.
That's okay. Shane and I are the same way.
I was gonna say that sounds like Tom and I trying to make a podcast.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Hey guys, let's do a mic check. This should take about 5-10 minutes. An hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes later. Oh, we gotta go.
Yeah. Joined the mic check at 5, went to bed at like 7:45, and I was like, all right.
I'm like, yeah, so that went well. But
2 hours of Shane trying to survive his opinion.
Poor Shane got ousted because Amanda and Thomas are on one side of Star Wars, and poor Shane's over here going, yay, with his little flag.
I'm just trying to have a good time, I just want to enjoy.
In my defense, I didn't really attack you on any of that. I stated my opinion, and then I watched as Amanda ripped you apart for like 40 straight minutes. I didn't really do anything.
You pulled a Batman Begins with
I did.
I won't kill you, but I'm not going to save you either. You were just
he just let me plant a seed for that. He's like, there you go.
Yeah.
Enjoy this. Watch this. This is going to be great. Thomas is just sitting there going,
Yeah, he's just the Joker causing chaos. As always.
And of course, you guys are part of Scoop Hash, which is a YouTube channel. You guys cover everything from what's breaking in the news. Obviously, you cover a lot of more stuff that's happening on Twitch, YouTube, things that relate kind of to what you guys do with gaming and pop culture entertainment. You guys also do a lot of amazing Let's Plays that take you back to the old school days where when you were doing Let's Plays, it was just being yourself, having fun, and not having a corporate boss going, you can't say that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course, you also have you just restarted your podcast.
Yes.
We did. We took a break from that for a few months, but just recently got them back up and going, and we're on Spotify now, right, Tom?
Yep. Mm-hmm. It was because when we first started trying to do the podcast, kind of like we said towards the beginning, it was the video files were like 3 hours of like Shane and I sometimes saying something, and then a lot of really awkward silences when we tried to figure out what to talk about next.
Yeah.
And so then when we started actually getting like subscribers on YouTube, I was like, what if we actually tried the podcast again, but we actually tried to be professional about it and like wrote an outline and tried to have a whole thing with it. So now it's like, oh, it actually flowed. And I was like, hey, it's not an hour of silence. So that was a nice change of pace.
Of us skimming IGN and all these other news sites.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to the Scoop Hash podcast, where it's an hour of us doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of honestly what it was for a good chunk of it.
Yeah. Shane looking at the camera and me scrolling on my laptop trying to find news.
Okay, I have to do this. Thank you, Shane, for the subscribing on YouTube.
Oh, of course. Thank you for subscribing to us. Really love your content, so it was the least I could do.
Seriously, when you told me you actually watched my content, you're like, oh, I know this story. And I'm like, oh my God, he's watching my content.
Well, you got to give back. It's a community kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Especially on YouTube. Got to help each other out as much as you can.
So my question for you guys is this, all right? Because there are two spectrums with people who do gaming. There's a lot of people who are either on Twitch, which is really focused on the live stream gaming, but you guys seem to do more of the edited, polished YouTube. What made you guys choose YouTube versus doing like the whole Twitch live streaming?
I mean, for me, it was actually kind of like Shane will definitely have a different answer, because for me, it was kind of an accident, because I got hired to kind of do more like curation and more like oversight kind of stuff. And like I was going to film school at the time, and I was like learning editing by proxy. And then when things kind of started pivoting much more towards YouTube, I was like, hey, by the way, I'm actually pretty decent at editing, but I'm not good at rambling for long periods of time. So I was like, I can make really creative stuff. And then mine just I kind of lucked into it. And then I just kind of improved as I went.
Yeah. Kind of to go off of what Tom says, Scoop Hash in general has kind of gone through different changes and styles, especially after, the pandemic hit. We had to adapt and change a lot of how we made content. But I was really supposed to just be an editor. And, I was kind of more behind the camera and just kind of taking the clips and putting them together. But when we kind of kept going, I think Tom and I both kind of realized that we enjoyed being on camera as well, and we bantered and had this good back and forth, and so we went with that recently to pivot towards both of us being on-screen presences. And in terms of why we chose YouTube instead of Twitch, a lot of the content I digest is more from YouTube. I think it's, I respect streamers and what they do, but it's just not the kind of entertainment for me, just because I feel like there are a lot of like our podcast, a lot of stretches of silence and not necessarily things going on. I kind of grew up on Rooster Teeth and especially Funhouse, which a lot of their comedy lies in their editing. And so that's kind of where my style just naturally went to. And so I think Tom and I just both kind of took inspiration from them and other creators of that kind in what we do as well. And also try to, make it our own. We don't want to just be a straight up copy, obviously.
Yeah. All right. So basically what we're saying is of the 4 people that are here right now, one of us is not an editor. Hi. And the other 3 can edit. Oh, great. Thanks.
It takes a while to learn how to edit properly. It's not necessarily you can pick up.
Look, my goal in life is to be like this. Here, edit it.
Yeah,
I ain't touching it.
I think we'd all love to be in that position of power.
Right. Yeah.
I can fix the audio. I could put in an intro video and an outro video. That's the end of it. I'm done.
Well, that's a big part of it. That's a huge part of it.
But, Shane is spitting truth. Wait, is this?
Thank you.
Is this? Wait, is this Mike, Mr.?
No, not the owner. That's
no. Yeah.
That's one of my friends.
Okay. I just want to know, because when I message you guys and here's Thomas. Hi, this is Thomas. Da 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 da. Hi, this is Shane. Da da da. Hi, this is the CEO. Don't do that to me. Don't ever do that to me.
It's a shocking moment when the CEO messages you back.
It's like, I gotta go. I'm sorry. But one of the things that drew me to you guys is even when you're talking about news that's breaking, whether good or bad, you give people the opportunity. You're very honest. This is our opinion. This is what we feel. But if you feel different, put it in the comment. We want to see other people's different opinions on these things. It may not change what we think about the situation, but it may put a new light on the situation. And that's what really drew my attention to you guys in the first place, to get me interested in your gameplays to start off in that second half. And I just really want to commend you guys, because you really do open it up and you give people an opportunity to really build a community with you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's I think that's really important to us, is to have that community where people can voice their opinions, but we just ask that they do it in a civil, respectful way to everyone else, because unfortunately you don't see that very often.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot, how we get bugged that it's becoming less and less common for people to want to have a conversation. It's more about two sides just kind of screaming at each other like, I'm right, you're wrong. So I'm happy to hear that at least one person who said that we've managed to accomplish that so far, because that's what we've been trying to do. So
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
we all know unless you're a Twitch streamer who uses music, then there's no
No.
this.
I'll stand by that till the day I die. You made your bed, you can sleep in it.
Watching that video, and you just hear. So, if you guys don't know, like, there's a bunch of Twitch streamers who are really upset because, Twitch never put down the ban hammer on the copyrighted music laws like they really should have, which every other site has always done this. I remember the first time I went to stream, I was wanting to stream Lego the Jurassic World series. And I didn't know, even if the music is in the game, you still can't play the music that's in the game. And I got hit instantly with my first video. And that's when I actually had to start learning about this stuff. I was like, oh. But like in the video, you're talking about people who have tens of thousands of views and followers and things like that. And now they're upset because, oh, well, we're going to have to take your videos from you. Well, you never should have been using the copyrighted music anyway.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny because Tom's like, no, absolutely not. I don't want to hear you little crybabies. And I am laughing. Like, I know it's serious trying to watch this video of his, but I was laughing so hard and I'm going, uh-huh.
I couldn't take it seriously. I set out like trying to be like objective in that video, and then after about the 2-minute mark, I was like, no, it's not going to happen.
That's exactly what you said. You're like, I'm trying to be objective, but it's not going to happen. Listen here. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's like getting reprimanded by your mother. Now you listen here. You use that copyrighted music. You're going to have to pay the price. I don't care if you lose your videos. Figure out something else. Okay? Just call me Tom.
Tom's a resident ranter. If there's like a video topic that we're like, we should make a video. And then there's like, okay, this could be like this something worthy of a rant. I'm like, Tom, you take this. you got this art down.
Disney changed something in canon.
Take it to Tom. New live action Disney, Tom.
Oh, Tom saw Mulan. Oh, well.
So what you're saying is we really just need like this, like how Rooster Teeth had like, okay, well, here's like Let's Play and here's Achievement Hunter and here's this and this. Scoop Hash needs to have like their second little channel that's called Tom's Rants.
Yeah, Tom's Rants, exactly. Or we'll have both of us in there, and I'll be the quiet guy who keeps trying to like get an idea in, but Tom
says, basically kind of
one moment
Andre show.
Jay, no, this is what you do is you pick that topic and be like, well, Tom, because Twitch didn't make them worry about the copyright laws. Is it really that fair? And they just watch his head explode. Exactly. No, but I think that's what's really cool about you guys is because whether it's watching your guys' gameplay, whether it's talking about what's going on in any of the social media stuff, whether you're trying to be objective in some things or not in others, you see your guys' souls come out, your personalities. And to me, being a YouTube or a Twitch streamer personality, showing who you really are, not pretending to be somebody that you're not, is very important.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was a big reason why I'm really glad that we kind of pivoted really hard to YouTube, because the few times where we tried to do videos in the past, because we took like a 4-month break before we started like doing videos again, and it was kind of sad where like me and Shane were like, we get along really well, there's a lot of really good banter, and then like it had to be more essay style for the website we were working on. And we were like, it's kind of lame and boring. And then a few months went by and the boss was like, let's pivot entirely to YouTube. And we were like, oh, thank God.
Sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Tom and I.
There was an audible sigh from across the 200 miles we live apart. It was like, yes.
We did it.
Yep.
We're back. We can finally start doing what we, really can do.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And you guys do an amazing job. You guys really do. And
thank you.
And I can't express enough how enjoyable it is to watch you guys. It reminds me of the old school days of, we're gonna say it.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, very much so.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So I know that you guys just brought back up bringing up your podcast. By the way, I just love seeing your guys' face on it and everything.
Thank you. Yeah.
Like Thomas's face. Look, he is so focused. It's not moving at all as he works on whatever that is that he's working on in that picture.
Oh yeah, I was so focused.
But you know, it's always nice to see that, you know, you did this, now you're doing this, and now you're bringing back the podcast. How important is it to you for what Scoop Hash is to have a variety of different things?
I think, at least for me, it's important just to have different content for people to digest. I mean, I think Tom and I both want people to know like what they're getting when they come to our channel. We want, you know, Scoop Hash is this is what we do, this is how we are. But at the same time, you can apply, you know, just our personalities and the kind of stuff that we do to so many different, you know, forms of media. So we can do Let's Plays and podcasts, and it's good to have the Let's Plays and the gameplays to just kind of be us goofing around, playing games, doing what we love to do, and bouncing off each other. But the podcast to also see our thoughts and really get to know us more as people rather than just personalities and voices, you know, through your speakers.
Which, from my experience, Thomas is always right, Shane's always wrong.
Yep, I would agree with that.
Usually what comes through in the edits, yeah.
That's our working motto for Scoop Hash.
Yeah, whether it's actually true or not is besides the point. At the end of the day, that's the default answer.
So the name Scoop Hash, where does that come from?
You know, I'm actually not sure, because unless Shane knows something that I don't, when we both got hired, that name was like already like bought and paid for as a domain and everything by our manager, and we were like, yeah, that I guess that makes sense. Yeah, let's just roll with it. So,
Mr. Manager, I need an answer to this question.
I think since we do a lot of like millennial pop culture, millennial news stuff like that, I think it's supposed to like be, you know, you get the scoop with the, you know, the news, and then hashtags, you know, that's kind of the way that people digest it.
Not where my mind went with the word hash.
No, it's not some sort of marijuana play or anything like that. We're not.
Where my mind went with the hash.
We're not weed news.
Picking up hash with an ice cream scoop? I don't know. What does this mean? Somebody tell me.
Tom and I eating hash browns for.
Okay, Scoop Hash. Actually, get the hashtag the scoop. Yes, I get. Now I get it. Okay,
Yeah.
You just Yoda-ized it and did Scoop Hash instead of hashtag the scoop. I got what you want this
exactly. Because we're so passionate about Star Wars.
Oh, we're so passionate.
So passionate.
You know, this is Mommy's time to interview people, not yours.
Oh, they can take over. It's okay.
You want to take over? Go.
Yeah.
Go, Fizzy. Say bark, 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 bark. No, not lick, lick. Oh my god.
Extremely compelling commentary.
Wow.
Yes.
Can we bring him on to Scoop Hash?
Ask your dogs to translate for you. No, she's upset. See this? This is her barking collar. She does not like having it on, and she's begging me to take it off. But the moment I do, she will interrupt everything severely.
Yeah.
But, well, at least now I understand the name. You know, mine was really difficult. Mine was really difficult to come up with.
Yeah.
29%. Well, think about it. Think if, you know, you guys lucked out because they already had this. But could you imagine in today's society trying to come up with a name that somebody hasn't already got?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, just like we're trying to make a username on a website, someone's taken my name already 5 times. Yeah. You know, I have to do Shane Black 74.
Yeah.
Because there have been 73 other people before me.
Right.
Yep.
No kidding. And it's like, okay. It's like I'm lucky that my gamer tag is what it is. Because now everybody wants to be a lady. No, that's mine. I've had that since 2001. You need to step off.
Copyright it.
That's mine.
Trademark that.
It may technically belong to Timothy Zahn, and I don't care. It's mine. But so you guys were telling me that you actually, before all of this happened, you guys actually did go to one show. What was that show again?
CES.
Yeah.
I can't even think of what it stands for.
Consumer Electronics.
That's what it is.
Something. I never remember the S, but
yeah, it's just all the technology, pretty much.
We went to that one in that place. in
It was
that gaming
Vegas.
over there.
It's basically like the convention where like companies like Samsung show off like their up and coming like prototypes for like what they want to be able to sell people, but they can't technically sell it yet.
Yep.
So it's like you get to go peek behind the curtain for a few days.
So, were you guys there as guests? Did you have a table, or did you just go for the fun of it?
We went there as media.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. I think there were some other people that with the company that went with us, and they were more there to network and talk to other people and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And Tom and I were pretty much just there to walk around with the camera
Yep.
and see what was going on and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that really cute girl there, guys. No, girl, this way.
Tom.
It's CES. It was mostly guys.
Yeah. I mean, there were some robots.
Don't worry. Richard has the same problem with his co-host with his stuff. Hey, let's go interview this guy. But there's a girl in cosplay. I need to go this way. Am I wrong, Richard?
No.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, honestly, most of CES was me just being afraid of robots. There are far too many robots there that just too smart. It just worries me.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, you want to play tennis against the robot?" And I was like, "No, I'm pretty secure in my masculinity. I have no desire to do that."
Like these things are going to be killing us pretty soon here.
All I have to do is win 1 point. It throws the fucking racket at my head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the last thing I need is some robot that has like Skynet tattooed on it. Going, no, I'm good. I'm just good. No, thank you.
They formed us for years.
So you guys have not actually been able to go to a show as like a guest or being able to have a table to really show off your stuff then?
No, I mean, we had like business cards that we passed out at CES when we could, but nothing really where we could, hunker down at a table and talk to people about who we were.
Which, to be fair, we were planning to around Denver, and then February, March hit, and we were like, well, I guess not. So.
Never mind.
What do you mean? What happened in February and March? I don't understand.
Oh, you haven't heard? There was a global pandemic, apparently. I don't know. That's what the fake news is telling me anyways, but I don't know. I haven't read it yet.
Here we go. This is getting into...
I didn't say. I just trying to do a joke, man. The return. No, he started it. He started it.
It's
a joke, NSA. It's a joke.
It's a comedy. Ha ha ha.
Please don't unsub from Scoop Ash. Oh boy.
But Richard, you and I work in the comic book convention industry. I think we're gonna have to fix that, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna have to fix that.
I've been wanting to go out to some bigger stuff, We had to go to those gaming, like plaques or something,
Yeah, but you and I know enough conventions here, and I think you and I work or run enough conventions here that I think we can fix this problem. As long as they pay for everything, we can totally make this happen.
Sure.
All right. Well,
somebody got.
I don't know about Tom and I.
I make them pay, and then I can make this easily happen. They got it. Okay, great.
Like you can't see it, but I awkwardly looked at Shane's picture when she mentioned the word pay, and I was like, "Yeah, you got this."
Yeah, Shane.
I'm the financer for the entire company. But...
Mr. CEO, can we make this happen?
Yeah,
you said some nice things to me.
Please.
Are you willing to please? I want to bring my boys to a couple of shows. It'd be fun. It'd be fabulous.
Yeah. We'll get in the works. We'll put it in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Put it on our Slack channel.
And of course, congratulations, guys. I've seen that your numbers and subscribers have been rising lately, and your views. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
It just proves again that you guys do put your heart and soul in all that you do, and I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I think we're both very grateful to see what's happening right now, just because we put, not just Tom and I, but everyone else who's behind it they put a lot of work and effort into this channel and doing what we do. So it's very cool to see it pay off in this way.
Yeah, speaking of, how many people are there? Because at this point, I know you two and CEO. That's all I know.
So technically, there's two others. There's our manager who kind of does more like technical stuff behind the scenes. And there's technically one other personality, but she's in the middle of school, so I don't know if she's going to be coming back to the channel anytime soon. But
you have a girl.
We do.
we do,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm so proud of you. Sorry, it's kind of lacking.
Oh,
A
I
little bit.
hate,
For
I
sure.
hate to say it. I mean, for the longest time, if I was looking for a girl, all I had was Elise from Funhouse, and that was pretty much it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we love you,
absolutely.
Elise. Thank you for being the OG gaming girl for me.
Yeah. Shout out to Funhouse. Because, you know, they need it.
No kidding.
From us.
But you know, because I like I said, I've only really gotten to really meet you two,
Mhm.
and talk to you guys, and I've seen your guys' videos. Shane's very lucky that he got to be on this panel because I had to make sure that his horror movies and slasher video was correct before he could get on.
Which it was. It passed. You may not trust me with Star Wars. When it comes to horror, you can trust me and my opinion.
Hold on. Oh my god, I remember that on wow, I had to pretend to be make or be harassed. LOL.
I think
What are
she
you
needs
talking about,
to be male or be harassed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, your
yes.
first mistake was playing World of Warcraft.
Oh,
That
shots
was-
fired.
that was
Shots
worse.
You
fired.
have to read that out loud. Too late. And you hush.
Tom, you're playing with fire, man.
I lost almost 2 years of my life to WoW.
I mean, that's okay. I have almost 2,000 hours on Destiny 2 at this point. I don't even. I'm pretty sad about that.
First you joke about there not being a virus, and now you're bashing WoW. You're coming out swinging.
Because you didn't message me, so I know you didn't watch my panel on this. I got you 2 Destiny players. So there's me, my sister, and DJ have agreed to help you. If you want to get 2 more people, we got you raiding.
Hell yeah.
Okay, awesome. I've never done a raid in Destiny. I've been playing since day 1 of Destiny 1, and I've never raided.
You gonna learn.
Okay. that was oddly threatening, Tom.
You gonna learn, son.
You're so kind until Destiny comes up, and then you just become this monster.
So things that grind Thomas's gears, not rating in Destiny, and the Twitch streamers who use copyright music.
That's
It's like
right.
an addiction. Yeah. It's like if I haven't raided like at least once a week, my hand starts twitching. It's a whole thing.
Of course, this. Oh, sorry. Somebody's just messaged me on Facebook. I'm like, busy.
No worries.
But no, seriously. I think what makes you guys is on top of, you guys do leave everything open when people watch your content, and like people watching you guys here right now, you give this sense of I can reach out to them and they might actually answer me back. They might actually care what I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I, as a personality, I think that's really important. It's something that I strive for over when I do the Twitch stuff. It's like, that's one of the reasons why I like it, is because it's like, hey, let's bond, let's make this community. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but a community for a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer is probably the most important thing, and really is what defines who they are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can safely say like any YouTuber, like content creator I've ever like hard stopped watching is usually because they disconnect from their community and they start turning into
corporate.
Corporate, and like they just kind of start ignoring people, and it's like, oh well, like kind of liked your content because I felt like there was a dialogue, and now there's not. So I'm hoping that we never hit that point. I would like to still be able to be like, have some downtime. I'm going to go to the comments and start talking to people. It's I want that to keep going.
Right. And there's something when, if you're on Twitch and you're doing the live stream and someone comments to you, or when you make that noise because you look at the Twitch comment and someone goes, redeem points, sing for 5 minutes everything you say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
which is the most famous one on my Twitch channel for some reason. Being on YouTube, and when a comment comes through, going, even if you can't say, you're like, I'm not sure if I can really respond to this, but I can like or something to let them know that you've read it, you saw it, you're wanting them to be a part of the community, and you want them to continue to not just supporting you as a creator and your channel, so you can make this your business, but just letting them know that you appreciate the fact that they liked you enough to say something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we want it to be a two-way thing almost, where even though we're the ones making the content, we want the community to feel like they're a part of it too.
Yeah,
Richard, you can ask questions. You don't have to leave this all up in love. You're just sitting there like,
no, I'm looking at their YouTube channel, actually.
Oh.
Trying to
Famous last words.
I don't know. Famous last words. Why, did you curse one of the YouTube videos? Is like Richard's screen about to fade to black and I'm about to lose him or something?
No.
Not yet.
It's like, I do like how like our YouTube channel though is like varied enough that like I'm cool showing like most of the content to people, but then like I'll have someone like professionally ask me like at my workplace is like, oh, like I want to see some of your content. And I'm like, well, don't watch these 4 videos at work without your headphones in, because we don't really censor a whole lot of it. And then my boss like asked like to view some of my videos, and I was like, sure. And then she clicked on one of the Phasmophobia ones. Like, don't watch that one. Go watch the other one.
Not that one.
Yeah, I was like, go watch Shane's horror ones.
Not that one either.
Yeah.
Next. Keep scrolling.
Yeah, that's like me right now. I'm trying to find a new editing job because I've just gotten back in the field of editing again, and I'm actually want to do that professionally. And it's like some of my videos I don't want some editors to see because I don't try to make some of this stuff professionally looking. I like the little bit more amateur look of the streaming and stuff. So it's like I don't want them to see this. Don't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I've got a few like video game montages I've made in my spare time. And so when I'm like, going over my professional portfolio and my channels, I'm like, this stuff has editing, but I don't think they want to see me in Titanfall. I think you would submit that on a resume.
Yep.
And I'm completely different from the rest of you. I remember working at my at the fast food restaurant before I lost my job because of COVID, and I remember going, "Oh, have you seen my latest video? Bleep 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 bleep."
Yep.
Oh, and this is where I do this. And my boss is like, "Can you turn that down? You're in a public place." I was like, "But I'm getting to the good part."
Yep.
Hold on. We're not there yet.
Hey, would you stop?
Yep.
She's like, "Don't you edit that stuff out?" I went, "Edit."
What do you mean? What is that?
What is this edit you speak of? And don't get me wrong, I tried, but because it's my own voice, I can't do it. I think I'd have an easier time learning if I was doing somebody else's stuff.
Yeah.
And no, Richard, that does not mean you can bring me any of your stuff because I really still don't want to edit. But listening to my own voice, I'm like this. Can I edit it like this? Does this work?
Oh, yeah. It's the worst. I hate listening to my own voice. I feel like after every video where I've talked, after I edited, I'm like purposely like speaking in a deeper voice afterwards. I'm like, I can't. I need to change so much.
Yeah.
That's why I say when people go, "Well, how do you edit your videos?" I literally take the audio, I put it in Audacity, I highlight it, I get rid of all the crackles, the noises, I normalize everything, I just throw it back in, go, "Here's a beginning video and ending video," and that's it. Don't you just listen to it? No, because see, Audacity lets me see all the red lines to fix, and I don't have to hear myself. No, this is fabulous.
Audacity is a lifesaver. For not letting you have to listen to yourself.
Yes, it is. Oh my God. It's like, okay, highlight what's red. Okay, click removal, normalize, make sure the boosts are fine, and we go.
Yep.
Done.
Easy.
And the sad part is, Thomas, you are right. It's actually that easy using Audacity. It's like, well, if the rest of editing could be this easy, I'd do it. It's not.
Yeah.
That's what I try to explain to people too. Yeah. I have so many friends who have started like asking me to like teach them how to edit in like Premiere and Final Cut. And I'm like, how long do you have? I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, so much of it is all muscle memory. I was like, I've been editing for like thousands of hours at this point. I was like, it's all secondhand to me. I was like, trying to teach someone editing like would be a complete waste of time because I was like, you wouldn't learn anything from me.
Yeah, I mean, it's so like you kind of have to learn it yourself too. Like,
Yeah.
Someone can tell you the basics, but you also have to jump in and just go, figure it out as you make it work.
Yeah, it's a lot of trial and error.
Because there's so many different ways you can accomplish one goal as well in it, which is somewhat frustrating.
Yep.
Sorry, the boss is going, I want to do something else. That was, by the way, the guy that you saw before you guys came on. That was Jesse
Gotcha.
Noble. He is the guy who runs and owns Gym City and Champion City.
Gotcha.
Oh, gotcha.
He sent a text message to me. I want to do something else. Well, it's your show, so yeah, you can do something else. What am I gonna do? Tell you no? You're my boss. That'd be stupid.
How about no?
No, I don't think you will. This is my show now.
Well, funny thing, I'm gonna do my own, so that's all right.
All
There you
right.
go. Yep.
It all works out.
But so you guys were talking about a little bit about how you were wanting to bring back the podcast and things like that.
Mhm.
What kind of are you guys just gonna pinpoint things to talk about, or are you looking to expand your podcast where you have guests on, things like that?
I mean, we're definitely looking to expand down the road because right now it's more or less just lining out like 3 different bullet points and saying, let's try to spend like X amount of time on this topic. And then if we can try to peacefully transition into a different topic, let's do that.
Mhm.
It's because right now it's very, very free form. Like the one episode that actually turned out well, which was the most recent one. Like even it was an hour and 6 minutes of me and my buddy Josh basically BSing our way through. What did we talk about? Like the Snyder Cut, Star Wars. And it was like, okay, well, I mean, it flowed really well. But like in the future, we want to be able to have like an actually like halfway decent intro and actually have a guest on and then actually have like an outline of what we want to talk about for an hour and have it be way, I guess, just flow better overall. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's also about finding that balance because you want to have the ability to kind of just talk naturally and have the conversation be organic and not be this jilted, like, okay, here are the beats, blah, 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 on to the next. But you also want to have that structure or else you get what we had, which was us talking for 3 hours about nonsense.
Yeah.
And, no one really wants to listen to that.
Yep.
Oh, I disagree.
Oh, okay. I guess we had an audience, Tom, and we didn't know.
I'm just letting you know. You just have to find the right people. I had one of my most popular videos, and this was before I transitioned to Twitch. I was on a podcasting website called TalkShoe, and there's just one of me. I didn't even have the audacity to get up off of the couch or get dressed for it. I did not feel like it. I just knew I had to do the podcast, and I'm just mumbling on the couch, and for some reason people watched that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just like,
yes.
I didn't do anything. I didn't even give you the community the time of day to get up out of my couch.
Yep.
And this is my most popular podcast. What is the matter with you people?
Stop praising me for this.
And it's not like I'm wearing like some cute little nightie. No, I'm wearing the fluffy, full body midwinter outfit. I think it was a Frozen one too, with a big giant Olaf on the chest.
Nice.
So it wasn't sexy by any means. Underneath a hidden blankie, my hair all like, hey, what's up? Hey, it's Amanda here from me. I'm just like, and you people upvoted this. Why? Why?
So what you're saying is we just start wearing Frozen gear on our podcast to really get the views coming in.
Oh yeah.
All right, Tom, break it out. I know you've got it.
Tom,
I know you've got it.
Tom, you can do
a whole
a small
chest.
you could do a whole chorus of "Let It Go." Yeah.
Tom has
absolutely.
a beautiful voice.
Absolutely.
I think it. I mean, I love the idea of the structure thing. Richard's tried this with me before.
Did it go well?
No.
I'm gonna guess not by the reactions.
So here's a little story about Richard and Amanda. When we went to go shoot a Gym City Comic-Con commercial. Amanda, here's your script.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, and Richard, it took what, 2 takes for me to get all of it?
Yeah.
There you go.
But for me, it's fascinating because, like, I'm listening to us. Well, we want to do this and have these pinpoints and the whole 9 yards. And this is normally what my podcast might look like if I'm interviewing somebody.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's probably the length we'll go. You know, it's easy for us to sit here and talk about the structure we want, but it's so much easier for us to also throw that out the window as soon as we can.
Oh yeah.
For me, I find it fascinating because I know Richard goes and him and Mike go, okay, we want to talk about, all right, so on this episode of We Talk Too Much, we want to hit about the Champion City Comic-Con, we want to talk about the Mandalorian, the boys, and I'm like, Amanda, what's your episode about? I'll let you know when we start.
Yep.
I don't know yet.
And the fact that Shane, and I'm only bringing this out because Shane here's like, I watch her stuff and I like her stuff, and I'm like, I don't script anything. Not a damn thing.
I mean, I don't know about Shane, but I think maybe 2 of my videos have a script. Like I completely BS my way through it. I like my intros are usually like 5 minutes long of me sitting there trying to figuring something out. And then I'll like ask myself a question and I'm like, okay, I can roll off of that. And then 15 minutes later, I'm like, there we go. We're done.
See,
there it is.
Now, see, my intro gets to be a lot easier because I could go, hey, welcome back. Here's my sponsors. Anyway, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
Once you guys get the sponsors rolling in, it makes your intro so much easier. And today's episode is brought to you by Air. Breathe it. And
One day we'll have that luxury.
if I listen to your next podcast and you do that, I will love you both forever. Just saying.
All right. We'll just make up some BS sponsors. We'll say we're sponsored by Nike for no reason.
Sponsored by Nike, but not really. But they just want you to do it anyway.
Well, we would like to be. We'd like to be sponsored.
Yeah. We'll just say if you subscribe to our channel, you'll be entered to win a possible lifetime supply of Nike.
Guys, don't forget, if you subscribe to Scoop Hash right now, and of course, make sure that you give us your social security number, a piece of your hair, your blood, a drop of your blood, and a piece of your clothing, you can have an opportunity.
Yeah. Your mother's name,
worry,
the street you grew up on,
It's
your
just
first pet's
collateral.
name.
Seriously, kids, do not give anybody your social security number. Just don't do it. Please.
Except for me and Shane.
Yeah,
Except for
Scoop
me.
Hash.
We'll take care of you.
Yeah, we do little news, and we also specialize in cybersecurity. So give your social security to us.
We live in Colorado. You can trust us.
Yeah. Colorado, that Colorado promise.
And now you all understand why I went with Hash the way that I went with Hash, just because they are in Colorado, okay?
It does make sense. It does make sense.
It does.
But seriously, guys, your videos are fantastic. I mean, it's kept Richard from talking.
That's fair.
He's going through it, just liking every single one.
down the. Well, see if you can find your subscriber list. You really should unsubscribe. Really,
Yeah.
Just do it. Just do it.
Just 100 comments from Richard, like, LOL, this sucks.
There's a new user called Richard Hates Scoop Hash that keeps commenting on every video, and I don't get it.
But guys, seriously, thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Like I said, even though the circumstances were not sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows the way how we had to meet, I'm really glad that we did, and I'm very honored that when I reached out to you guys are exactly what I said you guys are. You are very kind, considerate, and you really do support your community, even if it's somebody new that you've never talked to before. And I think that's uber important.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, I'll take my paycheck now. No.
Yeah, we'll talk to the CEO. Yeah, that's coming for sure. That Nike, we'll get you that Nike sponsor.
Right. Give the Nike sponsorship to the girl who runs around barefooted all day. That's brilliant. What are your Nikes? They're Invisinikes.
Yep.
They're the new wave, baby.
They're there. Kanye made them.
But of course, guys, where can everybody find you?
Well, I mean, obviously on YouTube. That's
YouTube's
probably
the
the
big
number
one.
one way. If you're trying to reach out to us on social media, your best bet is to try and find us on Facebook because we're not great at answering on Twitter. Same thing with Instagram. We're not great with answering on Instagram, but we cross-post it everywhere, so you can technically reach us at all of them. But Facebook is the #1 way to go.
Absolutely. And I mean, you can go to scoophatch.com. That is our official website, but we don't post there often very much anymore as we've been building up the YouTube channel. So if you want to see some stuff we've done in the past.
Let's promote our website. We don't go there, but you go there.
Yeah. I mean, like,
you
it's
can
there.
go
It
there by
exists.
all means.
Yeah. You might see a few ghosts.
Yeah. Brief glimpses of Scoop Hash's past.
Well, for good or for bad.
Nothing like going to your website and the first thing you see is Sean Connery's forehead.
Yep.
I could post it today.
I think we posted that yesterday to talk
fair
about
enough.
him passing away, and I don't think the picture formatted correctly.
Yeah.
Just so you all can see this, because this is. Hi, welcome to Scoop Hash. If your day isn't bad enough, Sean Connery is dead.
Yeah.
Here's his forehead.
Welcome to 2020. You want a reminder that it sucks? Welcome to Scoop Hash.
What I have to say is, with Sean Connery gone, do we still have Betty White secured? Is she somewhere nice and safe and secure? That's all I really
She's
care
probably in
about.
the same bunker that the Queen of England is.
Yeah. Keep her safe. I know there's an election, but she's more important than the candidates this year. We got to keep Betty White safe.
Seriously, why didn't we just nominate her for president?
I don't know. I feel like she can.
Nah, we can't corrupt Betty White. You got to keep her pure.
She's
No,
too
but
good.
that's the point. We put two good people, Betty White and Keanu Reeves, together. Keanu Reeves being our vice president. Dude, we're golden.
White Reeves 2024.
I feel like that's just like you're just like daring 2020 to throw a meteor into the earth.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm going to watch the skies all week. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, and then I know exactly what's going to happen. My Facebook thing's going to pop. That you did this, Amanda. This is all your fault.
Yeah. We attempted it. We asked 2020 to be good.
But guys, seriously, thank you so much for joining us. Again, I cannot express how great your content is and how amazing you guys are as a company.
Thank you.
I wish you the best of luck in all of your endeavors. Sorry, I can't speak. And edit that out. No, I won't. But okay. But seriously, thank you guys so much for doing this. And I will talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie.
Okay.
I don't need him anymore. No.
That's fair.
He's not yelling.
I'm sorry. I crossed the line.
Brought it on yourself, honestly.
I know. I'll live with that guilt.
But with that, guys, thank you so much. And we are going to let you guys go. And I will talk to you guys very soon.
Talk to you soon. Thank you. Thank you again so much.
Bye. And Shane's always wrong.
Yep, I know.
I love those guys. They're so much fun. They really are. Mic drop. All right, Mr. Man, are you ready yet? Because you're just sitting there, and I'm about to bring you back in. No, you're not ready yet? No? He's not ready yet. Can you hear the rocks in his head rolling? Well, we'll be bringing Jesse back soon. And then, of course, after this quick sponsor announcement from water, drink it. It's good for you. There you go. And no, you did not miss Sean. He's up after this intermission. So, bop. But, so I hope you learn, because I know you're looking into going more into a lot of the gaming stuff and stuff like that, which is why I didn't go away, Richard. I actually wanted you to be a part of it. So I hope that helped, because they're fantastic. They really are.
Yeah, I looked at their YouTube channel and some of the videos look pretty cool.
They really are.
I made sure it was muted. I didn't want the audio come through.
Well, I mean, it's there. So, I mean, what was going to happen? Were they going to sue us for promoting their stuff? I don't think so. I don't really think so. Then again, we are talking about the guys who are like, don't watch that one. Watch this one. No, not that one. No, that one. But, yeah. And of course, again, shout out to Scoop Hash. They're amazing. Make sure that you check out their YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe, ring the bell for notification, and give thumbs up to the videos. It really helps out their channel. And of course, it helps you being able to be notified when more of their content is available for you to watch. So it really does help, because you got to play that algorithm when it comes to YouTube. The algorithm is the only way to roll. With that, the next person that's going to be coming up here is going to be Mr. Sean Forney from Sean Forney Illustration. He's going to talk about some drawing, being a comic book creator, and his current Kickstarter with Scarlet Huntress, which we are all excited for. So time for more cryptids when he gets it. Yeah! But in that time, dude, seriously, you wanted me to read. I don't. You can see that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There he is.
There he is.
All right.
Why do you have to look so serious? You're all like,
Well,
no,
I'm
you didn't make.
sketching. I'm sketching. I'm making a little. I'm doodling. Little
Aww.
dude with a hat.
Aww.
Yeah, I'm. It's a serious scowl on my face when I doodle.
Look, I'm an artist. I drew.
I drawed.
Look, that's the best thing I've ever done in my history. All right, so I'm taking it, and it's mine, and I'll keep it forever. And someday, when I'm rich and famous, someone will buy it for $100 million.
Right, but by that time, inflation will have gone up so much that it would only buy you a cup of coffee.
Well, good thing I don't drink coffee then, huh?
Right. Well, then Monster or whatever Mountain Dew flavor is in that month.
He just named everything I would never drink in one sentence. Diet Coke and Rockstar, Jesse.
Yeah. Rockstar makes me shake. Gives me the shakes. I get. I had a real problem with Red Bull for a while.
I can down one of these and still go to sleep.
Yeah, that's not good.
I'm such a healthy person.
What did I want to talk about? What was I going to come on and say?
You wanted to talk about. Hold on.
Oh, I remember. A lot of people might not know this, but Champion City was gifted to the promoters of Gem City Comic Con by a group of promoters. They were sort of a conglomerate. They promoted Champion City as a panel, and I'm going to miss some people I know, but I know that Frank was there. I know that Scott Riley was there. I know that what was his name? Matt Smith, Dr. Matt Smith was there. He was a doctor, Dr. Matt Smith. And then, so it was gifted us, and it came with this fantastic auction. They would run a raucous auction, which Gem City copied actually. And they raised all kinds of money for local charities. And we've continued that in the future. And this year, not being able to put on that auction, I know there's lots of people, not lots of people, but there's some people that were not expecting, but it would have really helped out, especially right now. And so in lieu of there being an auction, if you're interested in donating some money to some worthy charities, the charity that I've been sending stuff to for Champion City is Dayton Hospice. So if you're interested in donating something, find them on the website and donate a little bit of money in the name of Champion City to the Dayton Hospice unit. That's my favorite local charity. And then I also wanted to mention that the other thing that we do is we do a roast at the end of the year. Do not go to try to find it on YouTube because it's awful. And I disown everything I ever did there. But this year we named somebody who is you contributed a lot to the local comic community. And this year we were going to, and we probably still will next year, honor Frank Rayner for the contributions that he's made to Champion City and to the local comic book community in Springfield over the years. So we don't get a chance to give him an award this year, but we're going to make it up to him next year. We're going to definitely give him an award and make fun of him ruthlessly. That'll happen next year. But I think, am I out of time yet? Did you want to jump in or did you leave? I think she left. Oh. I can't hear. I don't know if this is a curse or a blessing, Richard. What do you think? Nope, still can't hear. So Richard, what were you saying?
I don't know.
You've been a part of the roast over the years, right?
Yeah, I've been every one.
Right. From the beginning, for the very first one, we honored Mark Wade.
Right.
So we've been a part of that every year, or you've been a part of that for every year. So I'm really, I'm interested in what you think about.
I've enjoyed it every year. You know, I've gone down. You know, I've been Champion City since the beginning. You know, and I remember they did some other stuff at the you know, because I actually was set up and stuff. But the roasts were always fun. You know, I love going out and be able to, you know, have some pizza afterwards or whatever. You know.
Right. And you are an award winner, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Right. We honored you. I don't know if honored is the right word, but you won the award for your contribution to the local comic book community. And it's not nothing. It's not something that we just give away frivolously to somebody that we want to make fun of. I know in your case and in every other winner's case, they have made a substantial contribution through their time and their effort to the local comic books community. Whether it's writing, always being at the shows, documenting what would go on in these shows. Because honestly, in 20 years or in 10 years, we're going to look back at those things and it's going to be like, man, remember him? He's not here anymore. Remember how cool Jesse used to be? Nah, he's dead now. You know, that's what it'll be. And without your documentation, that wouldn't exist. People wouldn't be able to remember me. But so it is a substantial contribution. And I appreciate that that you're always there for us that way. What is Amanda waving her hands about?
I don't know.
Why don't you type in the chat or something if you can't talk? No. So anyway, I think this is a joke on me. Are you wanting me to host this? If the Fuller Cock is ready, drop him in and I'll take over from here. I won't Jesse it too bad.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you had it turned down. Is that what it was?
No, my mic just stopped working.
Oh, dang. Well, it's working now. I saw you rotate something on the back there.
The headset's now working. My mic is not working.
No, it's working now. I can hear you. Oh, the desktop mic.
Thank you. Now, Richard,
okay. Well, I didn't see it off the camera.
Second, Jesse used to be funny. When?
Funny might be the wrong word.
And third, yes, okay, we're going to make fun of Frank, but how is that different from any other normal day?
That's true. That is true.
Sorry. Those are the three things I was trying to say, but no. Things just had to get all messed up.
Right. I think you Jessied it.
No, I think this has to do with you. Everything was fine till I had to have you on here.
Right. Maybe it is my fault. Maybe it all is my fault. But that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to urge you to make a contribution to that charity, and if not that charity, some other charity that you enjoy. And then mention that save up your jokes for next year when we ruthlessly make fun of Frank Rayner.
Richard, where is yours at? I was going to put the link on here, but fine, if I can't find it.
What?
I was going to put the Richard roast on there.
Oh,
let's not do that. You know what? In a couple of years, it's going to get a lot of people in a lot of trouble. I just know it will. It'll keep me out of public office, I'm sure.
Like I would put you in public office, ever.
Right.
Do you know what putting you in public office entails? Me having to work at politics, and that ain't gonna work.
Right. No, I don't think I think if I was running for dog catcher and somebody saw that, it would keep me out of office.
Oh, whatever. See,
Seriously.
You just don't sell out to a big major corporation, and you're fine. You're fine.
Just so you know, if a big, large corporation wanted to come along and buy Gem City and these other shows, I would sell out in a heartbeat. I would disappear from I would just be gone. Be like, cash the check and ghost. Just so you know, if it ever happens, if I ever ghost, that's what happened. I silenced her. Matt, that's all it took.
How dare you threaten me and my profession and my love of these shows like that? All I have to say is if you try to do that and I don't get enough money and I don't get my AGP show when you do that, you're dead.
Sure, we'll do it.
I
You have
love
to
you,
find me first.
but don't you? You're not that hard to find, Jesse. All I have to listen for is the screaming of your children. I don't want to take a bath. I got this.
Right.
I can find you anywhere. But big shout out to Frank Rayner for what was supposed to be this year. I promise you that, yes, we will make fun of you worse than what we already do on a daily basis. Like worse than what I did to you last year at the roast. I was mean to him last year, just a little. I love the fact that you bring me into this, and my goal is to be as nasty and destructive as I possibly can be.
Right.
To everybody in it. Thank you. I'm the
You're very welcome.
like everybody else makes like these little quip bits, and I'm like, listen here. I'm about to destroy you all. And everybody's like, no. I thank you for this. It gives me the opportunity to spit all the venom that I hold in every year trying to be professional. I appreciate it.
Well.
And I do use the word trying very loosely.
Loosely.
But where is he? Did he fall asleep? Where's my boy?
Sean or Nate?
Sean. Nate is actually having the family thing, so he will not be able to join like he wanted to during this part of the time. If he can, he will raid our next guest, but our next guest is supposed to be Sean Forney, who's supposed to be talking about his thing. I guarantee, watch him show up right at 4 o'clock. Right at 4.
Probably.
And I was going to keep you on here because I know you and Sean have been friends for eons. You know, the only thing older than yours and Sean's friendship is Richard's age.
Yikes.
I'm sorry. I love you, Richard. I really do. But, you know, you guys do so much together. And I know that it's been really hard, you know, the fact with COVID and things like that, other than the few minor times that you've been able to get together. You guys have been more separated this year than I think I've ever, since the 4 or 5 years that I've been working for you, that you guys have ever been separated.
Right. No, we, I don't know. People always say that it's hard to make friends as you get older, make really good friends. But I feel, you know, pretty lucky. I've made a lot of friends, you know, in the latter half of my life that I never thought I'd have. And Sean and Steph are definitely one of those. They've, you know, we got to meet them through the show, and they just became really close family friends. I mean, they're my daughter's parents, so, or godmother. Stephanie is. We didn't want Sean, and we didn't. That was too much, but it was Stephanie. Stephanie's, you know, her godmother.
According to what I hear, that's the whole reason why you have Gem City and Champion City, isn't it?
What?
It's for Stephanie? It's just all for her.
I didn't know that, but sure.
By the way,
that might be the reason
Jesse,
they don't tell me anything.
Jesse, I called it. Right at 4 o'clock. Right at 4 o'clock. Bloop. Hi, John.
Hi. Why would I be here early?
I don't know. Yeah, I would figure, let's see, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. After about 8 months of doing this, you're like, let's get there a few moments early. But then again, it's you, and you work with Rodney. And, excuse me, stop trying to eat the cat.
She's talking to me? How does she know?
Jesse, you don't eat meat.
That's right. I don't eat meat.
Yeah, which is why Jesse's characters in video games would die very quickly, because meat is the best source of food in video games versus all those veggies. Sorry, Jesse. You're not surviving if you were a video game character.
On this barbarian halfling always gets thrown into all sorts of crazy mixes. Right, fires.
Right, we were trying to play Dungeons and Dragons with some group online, and we still play, but Sean dropped off pretty quick. He pretended like, I've got work to do. Truth is he never read the instruction manual. He never put forth a little bit of effort to figure it out. But
Ain't
so
nobody
his
got time
character
for
is
that.
now like, his character like follows us around now, just mindlessly not doing anything. He's just there in case he wants to jump back in. But my hope was, because I made, I helped him roll up the character, and I made the character a giant or a Goliath, and I played a halfling. So I was hoping that he could speedball me a couple times.
I did. I threw him right off the ledge.
Right. Well, the rolls didn't always fall real well. So the one time I tried to jump off of something so he could grab me and throw me, and I rolled a 1 and I tripped and I fell on the floor. Another time, like the one time, he threw me up at a little elemental, and I forget what happened. Oh yeah, the elemental blew up. But anyway, I digress.
I tried to kill Jesse a number of times during the game. It's all good.
Right. Not as bad as our Dragonborn character. Yeah, he has actually done more damage to me with his wayward spells than
actually the opponents.
Absolutely, he has. He's almost killed me twice.
Nice.
But I know he's not watching it, but I snuck something into his bag that I hopefully the DM will pick up that thread and make it bad for him. But enough about our game.
So, Sean, that means that you need a nice glow-in-the-dark Star Wars dice bag for only $10, right?
I got a Ziploc baggie. It got buried somewhere.
But it's not dice in that.
No dice for Sean. No dice tray for Sean for Christmas. Got it. But hey everybody, it's time for Sean Forney, and you have a Kickstarter going on right now.
I do. We got 11 days left.
Yes, 11 days left. And you know what? I want to do something with this. Let's watch the video on your Kickstarter. What do you say?
Sure.
She's like, sure.
It only took 4 tries to get it.
Is there any words? Where is it?
It's just me talking and doing a little overdub of all of our wonderful stuffs.
Just let him try to redo it now.
Yeah, right. All I know is everybody loves Jesse's bio on the Kickstarter page. Now, if you want to do something, that's the thing to show everybody.
But talk about the Kickstarter.
All right, talk about Kickstarter. So it's Scarlet's Field Guide to Cryptids and Other Creatures. We've currently unlocked 8 of the stretch goals. So that means everybody that backs it that's getting a physical package, you're getting all sorts of goodies with the book. So you're not just buying the book. You're buying the book, you're getting signatures, you're getting stickers, you're getting acrylic charms, you're getting bookmarks, you're getting coasters, all this stuff. For the entry of, I think $15 is the entry point to get a physical package at this point. We've got, not counting myself and Steph, there's 14 other artists and creators that have contributed. Rodney Fike is writing a couple stories. Brian Boardman's writing a couple stories. We got some newcomers to the art field. Ayla Borgman did a piece for the book. And Jesse Noble, the great failed musician turned artist turned convention promoter, provided a Mongolian deathworm for the book. And everybody can see his awesome bio there on the Kickstarter page. And let's see. We are shooting. We know we've hit our 64 pages for the book. Steph and I are trying to figure out. We might go a little over that. We're not 100% sure if that's happening yet, but everybody was so gracious to provide more art than we anticipated. I think I'll say about 4 or 5 artists, like Jay Fife, Jalen Warner, Jamie Snell, have all done a number of pieces, at least 4. Jamie's done 8 different pieces for the book so far. And that's the stretch goal we're working to unlock. Is there's a set of 3 stickers of Jamie Snell's artwork that we're trying to hit that goal in the next 10, 11 days.
How close is that goal?
We are quite a ways away because it's at 7,000. We're at like 60-39. So yeah, somebody can do the math. It's much smarter than I am to figure out the difference there. $900
but that's
some odd
doable,
dollars.
I think so. That's doable.
Yeah. So yeah, you can go back it. If it's not your thing, go share it. Tell all your friends. Tell your enemies. Get them all to go take a look at it. And hopefully we can get this into a number of folks' hands and carry on with launching sometime next year. Hopefully doing the continuation of the Scarlet Hunter series, getting another issue out. Because this is our 4th Kickstarter, and we're starting to get the hang of it.
Right.
Well, we ran ours
just a little bit, just a little bit.
We had a good chunk of help in helping Rodney and Tina run theirs. We learned some stuff along the way, helping them, and we are digging the fact that after all these years, Kickstarter finally did add-ons. So now you can go in, add on the previous issues. You can add on stickers that we included in the previous Kickstarter. The San Diego Comic-Con prints and buttons that we had a few left over. You can pick those up as an add-on. We are doing remark sketches. You can actually get an extra copy of the book or several extra copies of the book. All sorts of stuff that used to be a giant pain to make available to folks when they were like, well, I want to back it, but I want 2 of these and 3 of these and all this stuff that Kickstarter doesn't allow you to do without going through a giant headache of creating your own, Google Docs or going through a third party to do fulfillment and stuff. Now it's all done right there in the system. It keeps track of all the quantities for us, so we know how many things we got to order, how many people have backed at certain levels and added on all this stuff. So we're really digging that and thankful and lucky that we got to be part of the beta test for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of testing stuff, you have been one of the creators that has fully embraced being online completely. With now you're doing your morning sketches, which people can watch over on Twitch TV / Sean Forney Art, or over on YouTube as well, which is also Sean Forney. Is it art or illustration? I think it's just Sean Forney, isn't it?
It's whatever Google tells you what it is, because it's
whatever Google tells you.
You got to have 1,000 followers before you can get the YouTube / whatever.
100,
whatever. 100. I don't know. Either way, I don't use it enough to pay attention. I watch stuff on there. That's about it.
But I watch stuff on there. But you've been really, you really have been working on changing things up, getting stuff done. And not only have you embraced, getting up in the morning and doing your sketching, but you partnered with Rodney Fike to do this.
Yes. So yeah, when this whole thing came about, to backtrack a little bit, I think it was about 2015. I tried out the whole Twitch thing and tried to do the live stream thing. And it Grace saying hi. We tried to do the Twitch thing and whatnot, but it totally fried my machine that I had at the time, because the technology that was available and whatnot. And so I kind of parted ways with it really quick after doing that. So haven't used it for like 3-4 years. And I started trying to get back into it a little bit when this, Rona thing happened. And, so I don't know, month or so into the whole Rona thing, my buddies, Brett and Scott over at Odd Musings, they wanted a guest on their podcast, and they started using the whole StreamYard thing. So Brett called me up and he's like, hey, you want to come on, do the podcast tomorrow? Whatever, we're using this whole StreamYard thing, blah, 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 which I had heard about through a couple of shows I watched during the day while I'm working and whatnot. It's like, yeah, let's try it out. So we did the podcast. He showed me how the whole thing worked. And I was like, man, this thing is genius. Want to look at doing this, because I think like maybe a week or two before that, I started using Restream and a couple other things to try to do the streaming thing online. And it was bogging everything down. Just decided, all right. So when I talked to Tina about it, because she was like, trying to figure out how could she get Rodney online doing all this stuff and yada, yada, yada. So we decided to tag team it and go for it. And so then, it was, I forget where we started out. It was like, well, we were going to do the stream thing. And I continued on with doing the 10 a.m. morning stream that I do. And Tina had this opportunity to do something on Thursday nights. And was like, what the heck, let's give it a shot. And somehow that evolved into, well, let's try something on Friday night. And so I think since April we've been doing this, we've just kind of, ran with it. And we've got a group, a nice, I don't know, probably about a dozen or so folks that come in pretty religiously on Thursday and Friday. They hang out, they chat, we have a good time. And we like to compare it to, it's, the con experience that we're doing virtually, but it's like everybody kind of gets that insight into what it's like when, we're either at the bar, we've gone back to the room, and we sit there and we start working on commissions, and, people can see us doing stuff that they'd never get the opportunity to do it at a con. And I mean, it would almost be impossible for somebody to basically stand over a shoulder or watch us work on a commission, what have you. And this has made that a reality. And that's what a lot of folks seem to dig from it. And we've been having some fun doing some stuff like we've done a couple of giveaways, and we started doing the whole sketch off battle a couple months back, where we spend 30 minutes. We do this quick sketch based on what the audience has kind of given us as suggestions and so on and so forth. And we do those. We make those little sketches available for sale. And, it gives people the opportunity to buy a piece of original art for, basically a very discounted price from what they would do as like I say, a con sketch or something that they actually got to see us, start to finish work on. And, then after that, we sit around, we BS, we talk nerdy, we, discuss, movies, music, food, whatever the case is. And, we occasionally try to, bring some friends on and hang out and chat. And we've got a good group of friends that'll come on, hang out, and, we talk shop for, hour and a half, something like that. And, we just try to make it fun and entertaining in some way, shape, or form that, that not only are Rodney and I getting some entertainment out of it and kind of getting out of our headspace that we've been in, leading up to that point of the week. Hopefully everybody else that's tuned in kind of, has that time to take a breather, have some fun, goof around. And the usual suspects that come in and join us, like Jalen Warner throws out some, curveballs for us every once in a while, and we goof around, have some fun with that. We had Jesse on one time, and we talked the
just once. Then the ratings went down. They're like, no, never again. Sorry, bud.
No, actually, that was one of the nights where we had like the best conversations, because Jesse came in all gloom and doom and talked about conventions for an hour.
Nothing has changed my mind about that yet. Nothing I've seen.
Right. And I think everybody's kind of in that same mindset. So that's what's been extremely helpful through all of this is we found the ways to kind of connect with folks that we had opportunities before, but when we're doing this, it's taking the place of us being at a con, setting up on, say, a Thursday or a Friday night. Instead, we're, having that like kind of virtual con experience right from our studio. And, everybody else can do it from their, they can come watch us from their living room. From their,
they don't have to wear pants.
Exactly. And that's, the biggest thing is everybody's always asking, who's wearing pants? And Jesse's very confused looking.
Well, I was thinking, which one of everybody today is not wearing pants? Yeah,
there you go.
Well,
I had to go out in public, so I did have some pants on. I changed them to sweatpants. So
right,
it's
technically mine are leggings, and I only had them on because I knew I would have to go after the dogs every now and again, or else no, I probably wouldn't. Normally, if you see me, I'm not.
That's what the green screen's for.
Right. The thing that I like most about the new con, as I've taken to calling it now, the new model, is when you're at a show and you want to see somebody work on something, you order a commission or you give a suggestion, or you got to stand there with 10 other people standing over, over someone's table and look at it upside down as they're doing it. And it's quite a remarkable thing to be able to sit there and watch somebody. I call it carving out of paper, to create something out of nothing with just lead and paper. And this way, you've got a great angle, you've got a good clean shot, and you can watch. And it's mesmerizing for me. It's like magic to me. Like I always tell people, it's like some sort of voodoo, because I have no artistic ability whatsoever, as you can tell from my Mongolian death form. But that is one of the things that's become most exciting out of this whole Rona experience, is that you get much closer up to the art being created.
Hi, Ren.
What's up, Ren? Yeah, and it's, to that point, I think what a lot of folks that we've seen that come in and start watching us, I know there's at least a small handful of folks that have said one or two things that always kind of hits us is, oh, my kids love coming and watching this because they want to draw along. Heck, I've even got an adult friend that was like, hey, I'm going to start drawing with you guys on, Friday nights. And then the other one is we've seen a lot of folks come back that used to read comics as a kid or young adult, whatever, that haven't, picked up a comic book in, 10, 20 years, something like that. And all of a sudden it's like, I love this. I started getting a pull list from, this person or that shop or whatever. And then, they're the folks that want to buy up artwork and all this other stuff that, without having this, digital solution, basically, those folks probably would not be coming in to hang out and watch us, or, they wouldn't be coming to a con to come pick up a sketch or anything. Now they are. They're fully engulfed in it. They love it, and they're back like every week to hang out and talk all sorts of nerdy stuff.
And
Right.
not only that, but there's something really cool that I've noticed with a lot of these people. These people do order a lot of commissions from you, and they actually get to watch you work on their commission. Not, this is what I want. Okay, be back in 3 hours, 4 hours tomorrow, and I'll have it done for you. They actually get to see you develop the picture that you're creating for them. And
And there's a lot of folks that, that's what they're digging about it. And, like I know myself and, several other friends, we all kind of jumped on the bandwagon all around the same time. And we're all, borrowing ideas from each other of like, ooh, I'm going to go about it this way. I'm going to go about it that way. And that's, how we keep like bouncing around to different ideas and what we try. And it was very early on in the whole Ronaverse here that I'm pretty positive, and I can hopefully quote this right. It was Doug from Heroes and Games made a post on somebody else that was complaining about, something. He's basically like, we're in a situation, you got to evolve or die. And that's where a lot of the stuff came out of. It was like, okay, we're not doing cons, we're not doing this. Like, what do we do now to make stuff work? And again, stuff we probably could have been doing, but we didn't have basically time to take full advantage of it. And now we are.
Well, it wasn't a necessity.
Yeah, it wasn't a
It became a
necessity.
necessity. You had to do it.
Yeah, and necessity is the mother of invention. And boom, we're here. We're doing this. And when we've talked like back and forth with Brett and Scott, like doing their podcast, and they came on to join us for a night, it was like Kickstarter right now is also the new like Artist Alley at a convention. It's the new small press area. You've got like right now, I know probably a dozen of my Facebook friends are running Kickstarters same time we are. And we're all, kind of in that same set that we'd be at a con where we're kind of, in a way competing for everybody's dollar or whatever. But that's the nice thing about Kickstarter. There's so many more folks that we could reach through the internet that we couldn't hit at just hitting a con to sell, a handful of books for the weekend or whatever. That, we're still able to run our Kickstarter, be successful. And it's like folks that would, maybe peruse small press and be like, oh, I'm going to get a book over here from this guy and a book over here from this gal, whatever. They can bounce around and do that. Now they can do it through Kickstarter and be like, okay, this creator's doing a book. Well, hey, they've got a friend over here doing a book as well. And all of us are joining in to like cross promote each other and all this kind of stuff. And you see how the comic book community, in so many different ways comes together to help each other out. where we would have been probably trying to do this in person at a con. Now we're doing it virtually of, hey, come on and do my show, or come on and join me while we're sketching. Hey, I'm doing a Kickstarter. I'll throw an update out and talk about your book. Would you throw an update out about my book? Things like that, I think in anything outside of the realm of, comic book creators and whatnot probably wouldn't fly too well if you looked at most business models. But we're all joining in to do that.
I think to that end, what's different, I think, about this community than a lot of, the number one rule of business is protect your market share. In this area, someone else's, success doesn't mean that it's at your expense.
Right.
If they're interested in characters and comic books and stuff, then they're going to be interested in what somebody else is doing. They're going to be interested. So a promotion for this guy is a promotion for you too.
Right.
You know what, Richard? I don't think we're needed. I think Jesse should just go ahead and interview Sean. This is way more entertaining for me.
Well, like Sean, you remember, Peanut or Meat was always hanging over your shoulder or in front of you with the camera at the cons, and it was always distracting to you and stuff, So do you miss us hanging over you now that you got your own camera?
Well, I just miss seeing everybody. I miss being able to get out. I mean, over the last, what are we at, 7 months, 8 months, whatever. I think I've seen Jesse 3 times in person, something like that.
Which just in some circles, that's a success.
Right. But normally, I think we would have gotten together much more throughout the year. We would have seen each other at cons, like
every weekend.
A couple weeks ago, we would have been at Baltimore together, and then we were doing virtual Baltimore, stuff like that. And it's like, so I miss that aspect of like seeing everybody, getting to hang out, especially like after the show, go out and go grab dinner, go grab a drink, whatever. I miss all those things. But there's other like positives to doing this stuff virtually. I don't miss having to, spend 8 hours in the car getting somewhere. I don't miss having to lug all the crap around.
He doesn't miss hearing my voice echo through the convention hall. No.
Yeah, see? I mean, all these positives.
I'm going to put on my doom and gloom hat again for a little bit, but I can't imagine a situation. This has fundamentally changed not just comic conventions, but I think more specifically, definitely Artist Alley. Even at the best of times, you were exposing yourself to every bug that came through any city that you were in, like con crud. It was a real thing. Now that you know that this is available, and now that artists know that this is available, that you can go online and be at any convention in any city all over the world, why would you go back to Artist Alley again? And I'm a promoter. That's what I do. But why would you do it?
There's a number of things that I think will play a factor in that. Now, when it comes to like next year for con season, if there's a con season, I'm not going to get into that aspect of it. I'll let everybody make their decisions. But for me personally, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. For example, there's some smaller shows that we normally hit throughout the year where we, maybe go for a day, or maybe it's a weekend where it's kind of a, basically a break even, but we get to go see friends of ours, and that's why we'll go do the show. That would be a show that we could, get, cut from the list so that, we can take the time and go to, spend our time getting stuff ready to go to a bigger show that might be more worthwhile to us.
Right. Like, why would you go to Kenton under any circumstances? Why?
Yeah.
That's right.
So it's one of those things where it's like, why would I go do that when I could stay home and hopefully have kind of a similar experience of going and doing that con, or, I could stay home, work on my book or work on something else I'm doing for a client. And that's something I'm going to have to weigh options on. Some of the bigger shows may also be another thing to weigh my options on, because like you mentioned, I'm exposing myself to, the typical con crud anyway. And, come home.
Right. You don't have to be sick for a week after me, because it's not just the weekend or the Friday, Saturday, Sunday that you're away from it. It's away from your desk. It's I was on the West Coast and now I'm back and I'm just busted tired. Or I was, I traveled all the way east and then I caught a bug. So now that weekend turned into 7 days and a trip to the
clinic. Right.
Not the free clinic, but just like the little clinic at the Kroger's or whatever.
Right,
I mean,
right.
and I would do at the best of times, trying to bring in like bigger guests and stuff. We always run into, I make more money, wiping napkins at home. Why would I be off work that long to where you have to make it worth it? I don't think that there's any reason to be. I don't think it's just worth it at all to go to a big show if you're an artist.
Well, the flip side of that coin, right. The flip side of that coin is though, the folks, the folks on the other side of the table that would want to buy the artwork or the comics or the what have you, they might not be, hopping online to see me do a live sale or see my buddy do a live sale or whatever. They may have no interest in that whatsoever. They may prefer to not have their stuff shipped. I mean, you can list off this like whole slew of things. And so there's somewhere it's like you kind of got to make that choice of like, do I go do like, say, a C2E2, which for us is usually a very successful show? Do I go do that and chance that for the 3-4 days being out of town and seeing what happens, which I will admit that was the like one and only show we got to do for 2020. And probably the first show in a long time where we didn't catch the con crud because we were wiping stuff down methodically like every hour.
That's because I went, attention C2E2 guests, there's a pandemic.
It was a very, very interesting, unique situation being there because a lot of folks were denied access to come in to do that show, whether they were denied access to fly in, whether they were denied access for any number of other things. But I know from what I remember off the top of my head, there was at least like 8 guests that were not allowed to come do that show for various reasons for travel restrictions at the time. So we had that going on. We were, cleaning, trying to stay prepped for, not catching anything. And the convention itself was, going through the place. Like like the bathrooms in that place were the cleanest I've ever seen a convention bathroom. And all those extra precautions everybody had to take to make it safe, worthwhile, whatever. So, I mean, that something like that would be something that I would really have to think really hard on considering skipping.
The proof is going to be at tax time. When you sit down and you run your big sheet, expenses versus income, if the percentage is even close, there's no reason to go back out on the road unless you like travel. And my guess is that there's going to be a lot of people that did just as well not traveling as they would have been out.
And I just seeing how stuff have gone the last few months and, keeping an eye on things, I would say for the most part for the year, things I think have gone better than if we would have been traveling to a lot of different conventions, not having the expense of the hotel, the flight, the food, the driving, the blah, 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 all that stuff. I think in a lot of respects, we've done better for ourselves not doing that. But the thing we always keep going back to, at least Steph and I do, is the same folks that are, basically buying stuff from us right now. Will they still be doing that come next year if there's any cons, or will they be saving up all their cash and only buying stuff at cons? That's one of the unknown factors that we don't know yet. And how does that play in? And that might be a wait and see.
Yeah,
I don't think so, because like if Richard likes your art, Richard is not going to buy stuff from Amanda because he likes your art. He's going to buy both.
Right.
Richard, do you want to buy my art?
and there's definitely a lot to be said for that. And yeah, I mean, it's just I think honestly it's going to be a waiting game. I mean,
I think you're better off without shows as an artist. I think you're better off without shows.
Jesse,
am I working against my own interests here?
Yes,
you're
you
working
are.
against my job. Knock it off.
Going up to Gem City whenever that happens again, and we could be hanging out at the Irish place or going to the Mexican restaurant and having some fun. But apparently Jesse doesn't
want anything. Yeah,
Jesse doesn't like anything. He said meh to Mandalorian. I mean, totally
I know. Thank you. But Jesse, you also have to understand, there's something that if you really listen to what Sean says, a lot of the people that keep going back and watching the videos are the same people. which means there's still an opportunity. It's like, okay, I may not
The
be an artist.
opportunity is there whether he's online or not.
This is true. Wow.
The opportunity is there.
It's true. It's just
doesn't
finding
need to
ways
go anywhere.
It's finding ways to make that reach grow. And I mean, we could sit here and debate all the freaking social media algorithms and all that stuff till the cows come home. But it's just trying to, get out there, get in front of the new faces, things like that. And yes, I agree to some extent. There in some respects are not need for traveling out and being at a con, in the sense of, if you look at it just dollars and cents wise. But Sean needs to get out of the house so he can stop being absolutely insane is a whole other different aspect.
I kind of want to support Sean in this as well, because I may not be an artist. What I do is completely different than what Sean does, but I do have an online thing going on with Twitter and Twitch and all of these social medias. But still, going to a physical show gives me an opportunity to possibly expand my reach somewhere else. Yes, just like when I first started.
You're only going to be in front of 50,000 people. You're only be able to, you're only going to have that much. Like, think about a grocery. You've only got that much frontage. 50,000 people. When at any given time you have access to millions of people.
But Jesse, we're not famous enough to have those millions of people.
No, but it's available. You've got that shelf space. I mean, there's a lot of shelf.
No, Jesse, I really don't have the shelf space. I really don't. If you look, I really don't. But
you get what I'm saying.
I do understand what you're saying, but also from the perspective of someone, there is I miss going to conventions. I really want to get out of the house. I miss that experience. There's that. But let's say a huge show like C2E2. If AGP got a table at C2E2 and it was safe to go, it'd be really kind of stupid for me not to go, because that gives me so much broader of a people that I have not been able to tap into yet, that have not found my pages or have not seen my posts. And I can tap into that.
Is that after this, tables are going to be so cheap. You are going to see tables are going to be so cheap, right? After that, if people get out and stuff, my guess is that tables will be so cheap.
Dime a dozen.
But as always, you still have to think about the cost. So maybe for Sean, C2E2 isn't the show for him to do. He actually could produce enough from his home, doing his stuff from there, and it's just not worth going. But the Cincinnati Comic Expo, for example, might actually be worth him going, because it's closer to home, less finances, and so he could do that. Or obviously Gym City, because he could just go home after the show.
Well,
I just stay with Jesse.
All right, I'm getting off my horse. I'm hijacking.
No, I like this conversation. I mean, like, Ann just chimed in about, they would stop going to shows if artists didn't make it to the cons. And I think for the next year or so, I think you're gonna see a little bit of fluctuation in who's showing up to shows. Because I've heard it from several artist friends that, we all seem to be kind of in that same boat, and it's leaning a little bit towards what Jesse's saying about, why would I go do this? Because I can do this, that, and the other thing from home. And there's a lot to be said for that, but it depends on, a lot of it is like the fan base, whether or not they're like, you know what, I've had enough of sitting in front of my computer on, Friday nights. I'm going to a con on a Friday night, and I'm gonna, get from all these folks that are there. Whether or not folks are there, that's a whole other thing. Again, you got basically got a moving target with so many variables that it's going to be a wait and see what happens for the next little bit, and see how the landscape changes. Just if Gem City rolls around next year, and Jesse's got some guests, that's something I'm going to be at. And again, it goes into that factor of, what friends am I going to see that are coming into town that I haven't seen, for the entire year, That's like, okay, this is a good chance for us to get together, go hang out, go have some drinks, go do the con, go see, and also it's both sides of the table too. There's going to be a lot of faces that I haven't seen that, I want to connect with because I haven't seen that person in a while.
I need a hug from Stephanie. Okay. I just need a hug from Stephanie. I don't think you understand how hard it is to get through this year without a hug from Stephanie.
You're probably contagious in one way or another, so I wouldn't go with that.
What's talking?
So I mean, I don't know. There's so many factors and whatnot, and it's like, I don't know. I mean,
well, look at my little show I was going to try to have this year. I'll never have that opportunity again. I just don't think a little show in Kenton will work like a real Comic-Con. I'm going to try something different. I want to make an art show out of an art and then have a small like pop-up convention at like a gallery setting where you guys can bring your artwork in, show it off as a show, a gallery, and then have the signing with it.
Yeah. And I mean, stuff like that, it works. And it's like, matter of fact, that's what we went and did today. There's a local bar here that I did a gallery show at, like, not last year, but the year before. And then Nate had a show there mid last year. Steph and her coworkers went and set up stuff today. And then we'll go back to the bar. We'll hang out for a little bit and kind of do like a reception type thing. But we'll basically just be sitting there eating and drinking. And, people can come up, say hi, whatever. But it falls in line with that same idea. You can, have all the stuff on display for a month, but, somebody only needs to show up for like a 4-hour time span, sign some books, sell some sketches, what have you. But the stuff's there and it's on display. And it kind of is the same, idea with like, it's like doing the online convention thing like we're doing right now. You can put up a gallery of all the stuff you have available for sale, which is what we've done on, like, we put up a Facebook thing. And it's like, hey, for the next couple months while we're doing all these online conventions, here's what we have available. And again, it's the whole social media thing. Folks don't even really get to see that post unless we're like sharing the heck out of it. And so it's like, again, it's the give and take and, trying to work within all those things to see like what happens,
right.
Pay attention to, hey, I've got an online gallery with, such and such for sale. Are people going to be interested? Or is it, people only really pay attention while I'm doing a live stream, or, people only really care if we're off at a convention and have this stuff,
The thing is when it comes to artists, they're going to have to pick and choose what's best for them. But there's going to be so many things to pay attention to. Like we just showed, mingling and so everybody's doing an online convention. That's great. Now you have everybody's doing online conventions every weekend and are overlapping each other like the conventions were doing before they went online.
Right.
But if you go to a convention, you get to interact with that creator. You can sit here and you can make comments all day, but you're not going to get to sit there and talk to that creator. You're not going to get to sit at the end of the panel and actually vocally say your comment or your question to that creator. You could type it, and hopefully, if it's a smaller show like this one where we have time to read everything, your question may get asked. But you do something like New York or San Diego, your question may get lost in the rush of many people asking questions on the site. I don't see a lot of the bigger shows to be going away forever, but I do believe that it's going to be up to the artist. Which one financially is going to be best for me? But I don't see artists leaving conventions completely, because there's still going to be things like panels, fans who want to be able to interact with them, to, there's just so much that's missed from conventions, and bringing back conventions will have a little bit of a normalcy again that we all really want badly, other than Jesse, obviously, because he's trying to sabotage it.
Well, it's Jesse. He likes doing the whole self-deprecating.
Look, he even muted himself, so he can't say anything.
No, the dogs are barking because Izzy's home.
Oh, Izzy's home. The true reason I've done Gem City Comic Con all these years.
I thought that was for Stephanie. Or is it a combination of the two?
Oh, it was Izzy. Izzy was the one to first invite me to the con. Jesse sent her over to the table with an application, and she came over. She's like, "Yeah, come do the show, blah blah blah," and all this stuff. And Jesse was just hanging out, selling comic books.
Yeah, I think it'll be up to, is it worth Sean to go all the way to San Diego? Maybe not.
No, that's one where it is. I mean, because that's the other factor that doesn't even come into play, and it's there's no other real shows other than San Diego, New York, where I can go and actually talk to people that would want to hire me. So I mean, something like San Diego, the expense kind of gets nullified by all the other, the pros heavily outweigh the cons when it comes to that.
Right. I also see a shift in conventions. I see more multimedia conventions that will survive versus, yes, I do. Because you still have you have gaming shows, you have the gamer shows, the anime shows, the popcorn shows. People love those things. They love being able to meet their favorite YouTubers, their Twitch streamers, their voice actors, things like that. People love actually getting to physically meet them. Those might actually play a bigger factor in an artist or creator deciding to go to one of those shows, because more people will be at those shows than maybe just a comic book show.
Yeah, I know myself, and I know a lot of other folks. Those factors come into the play of us not doing them.
Yeah, but that comes into it, and that's, some people don't like doing those types of shows. But I honestly don't. Of all the shows, I don't see those shows disappearing at all. They will still have their fan base. They will still have their creators going to them. What's the big one in Indiana? Gen Con? Is that it?
Jesse?
Anybody paying attention to me?
Now,
that's a gaming show. That's a tabletop gaming.
And it's huge.
Right, it is huge, and
it won't go anywhere.
They have a real shows like that would have a real problem. They're going to have a real
social distance, that one.
Right. I'm talking about when this is over.
So about
even after it's over. Even after it's over, because I mean, I'm just afraid that people are not going to want to risk.
You spelled Gem City wrong. That's not how you spell Gem City Comic Con.
I miss the days of Mid Ohio Con too. They were a lot of fun.
I lived in Florida in those days.
That was a lot of fun. Again, the stuff that we missed from doing the cons was just the get together, hang out, and just be absurd. And then especially when the con was at the convention center, when they finally moved over there, and seeing the craziness when they were having a hairdresser convention the same weekend as a Comic-Con.
How about Dance Moms at Gem City one year? That was fun. Yes, there was the dancing competition. I think it was 2 years ago or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, it's the kids from Dance Moms. Run. Just run.
That happened at HiaCon once.
Hey, do you want to know something weird?
What?
When you remember the 1 year at Gem City where everyone thought that the kid from Stranger Days was there, or Stranger Things was there? He was. It really was him.
Mm-hmm.
No kidding. Which one?
It really was. It was I forget the kid, but I forget what his name is.
Yeah.
I forget what his character's name was too, but he was the guy that went away to camp, the computer camp.
Oh, Dustin.
Yeah, that really was him. It was in his. Somebody pointed out it was in his feed.
No kidding.
Who knows what he was doing there? But yeah.
Totally scouting, going, why won't this guy let me be at his show?
Probably looking around, going, nerd.
Do you want to be one of Sean's new cryptids? Here, you could be one of Sean Scarlet Hunter's cryptids. The Lamb Piranha. Arr, 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 arr.
There you go, Jesse. That's all you.
Yeah, those mad drawing skills, you could do great honor to Fizzgig. You'll have to forgive her. She's really upset because barking collar. She's not allowed to bark.
Ah.
She's
How does a
upset.
barking collar keep her from barking?
It vibrates and she doesn't like it, so she refuses to bark. It's not a shock collar, it's a vibrating collar. So it goes, and she really hates that.
Yeah, I would too.
One of the things Chihuahuas are good for, dinner is here, throw me out. Oh, okay. You know, because we only have 13 minutes left before the show ends, but okay. Yeah, I read it out loud. Don't care. But Sean, since Jesse took up all of your time about whining about conventions, you want to talk a little bit more about the Amazing Scarlet Huntress?
Let's see. The Kickstarter's got 11 days left. We've unlocked the 8 stretch goals. Yeah, 8. We got one more, and we've got another one planned if we think we can hit it. So we've got right now, like the stretch goal list goes to 7,000, but if we can get somewhere closer to like 8,000, we've got another stretch goal planned. We'll announce that if we think we're going to get that far. Let's see. Like go check out the page for it. We've, like I said, total there's 16 different creators working on the book. We've got a bunch of fantastic art, and only a small portion of it is up on the Kickstarter page. We've been sharing some stuff off on all the social media so people can see a little insight into what's going to be in the book and whatnot. And again, it's you know, if you were at a con and came up and bought the book, you would just be getting the book and probably a signature on the book. With doing the Kickstarter, I know the price looks a little high when you look at the shipping and whatnot, but you're not only getting the book and signatures, you're getting I think like 5-6 different stickers right now, a coaster, a bookmark, digital copies of 2 other books that have jumped in and joined in helping us out. You'll get issue 1 of Nightwolf from Lone Wolf Studios, and you will get a copy of Roadkill Rampage from Hasm Productions. I believe it's going to be issue 2, but I'm not 100% positive on that. And then you know, you get to enjoy the book, and like I said, we're shooting for 64 pages. You know, fingers crossed. I'm hoping if I can get enough stuff done, and with everything everybody's turned into us, and depending on how much stuff actually wants to add to some of these stories, we might grow that a little bit. I'm shooting for it. We'll see if that becomes reality. We've got a whole slew of stuff to pick from as far as packages go, where you can get just the book. You can get a digital version of the book if you don't want to go all in and actually get a print version. Just with the digital version, you don't get all the cool added goodies. But we've got various prints, original artwork. There's a package where you can get a copy of the book and one of the Cryptober sketches I did for the month of October. I did a daily sketch of a different cryptid on my morning live stream. So there's a package where you can get one of those random sketches with the book. And just, again, there's a little something for everybody in each one of the packages we made available. And plus the add-ons. Like if you've never picked up any of the other Scarlet Huntress stuff, you can get a package where you get all the books, but then you can add on all sorts of other goodies like what am I trying to think of? There's previous stickers. We've got variant covers from the last Kickstarter where we had Marat Michaels, Daryl Banks, and Carlations all did a variant cover for us from the last issue, and we have some of those left over, so those are available as add-ons. Buttons from San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that we had left over from last year, a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive print from last year that you can do as add-ons. So again, a little something for everybody. And all the if anybody hasn't checked it out yet and seen what the pages look like, basically there's going to be Scarlett's take on what the cryptid is as far as the story that's in there. It's her personal journal writing about, hey, I came across Bigfoot and this happened and that, yada, yada, yada. And then there's going to be artwork of what she sketched, what she thought Bigfoot looked like. But then there's also going to be pieces of artwork, like, for example, Bigfoot. Josh Peters did this amazing, goofy, cartoon-looking Bigfoot. That's going to be the, like, eyewitness account. And then so there's going to be different eyewitness account pieces from all of our friends that have chimed in and, you know, jumped in there and gave us all sorts of different pieces that I think everybody's going to enjoy. And the book stretches from very cartoon, highly stylized artwork all the way to like hyper realistic grayscale drawings from Jay Fife. So it's like we've got this nice mix of just anything and everything in there. And I'd say probably about 90% of the people that have contributed artwork are fellow Ohio creators, like Jay Fife, Adam Fields, Nate Lovett. You know, we've got this nice, cool little mix of all of our friends and con family and everybody that's joined in here. And what you got on screen there is like some of the packages with the prints, the book. Again, there's stuff with original art, and we're kind of updating it. As you can see, some of those don't say not final art because I didn't get some of the prints finished as we were like working on this thing. So as we go, we keep updating a lot of the images with what the stuff looks like as it's finished. So whole assortment of stuff to pick from. And if it might not be your taste, your you know, something you want to go after, if anybody out there wants to share the link, we appreciate it. That helps get the word out, helps us fight those nasty social media algorithms that kind of keep the stuff buried. So there's the little short link. If you hit that button, you share that, tell all your friends. It's in the comments there. You can go visit it. I think the first package starts out at $5 for a copy of the digital PDF that we'll send out through Drive-Thru Comics. And I think the early bird sold out, so I think right now the print copies of the book start at $15. But again, that gets you all the stretch goals if you start out at that $15 level.
Hey, Richard, I need $15.
I already
Because
reserved a copy. I got mine at the early bird special.
See?
Look.
Smart.
Amanda, I have no money. That's why it still says back this project. It is still under my remind me stuff, and it's on my list. And I'm going, Mom, I need $15.
You got 11 days.
I know. By the way, the only thing that I see wrong with this is there's this beautiful picture. Creators Sean and Steph Forney. Where's Indy's name?
He's only head of shipping and receiving. His picture's up on Facebook. You can see
Poor little Indy. By the way, cute outfit for Halloween, just so you know.
That was thanks to our friend James. He sent a couple of costumes for Indy to choose from for trick or treat, even though we didn't get to do trick or treat.
No. Ask about the turtle. I have to ask about the turtle.
Who wants to ask about the turtle?
Mr. I gotta go eat.
Mr. I gotta go eat wants to ask about the turtle. Mr. Jesse Noble?
Yep.
All right, let's see if I can get this up on camera here. So this turtle here, he's going to appear in the new book. This is the previous one we did in 2011. So this one, we did black and white, kind of dull, boring, didn't get to do all the stuff we wanted because we didn't have crowdfunding, yada, yada, yada. We put this together. This kind of was the culmination of some ideas of me and Josh Metter sitting around back in the like 2010 as we were getting ready for San Diego Comic-Con the next year. We came up with the idea of doing this whole thing with Scarlett, having the journal with all the cryptids and so on and so forth. So when we came up with the idea, and it was like, okay, let's get a bunch of friends to do artwork and get all this stuff put together. One of the guys I asked was Jay Fife. Jay Fife did that amazing turtle illustration. Let's see if I can find the in the inside. So a small few pieces from the original book when we did this back in 2011. And this piece is just gorgeous. You got to see it up close in person to really just get the feel for it. Jay did that piece as one of the pieces for the book, and so that one's getting carried into the new Cryptids book. And Josh Metter's piece, the Yeti. Those are like my two favorite pieces from the first print run. So again, we're carrying those over into the new version. And like I said, we're like more than doubling the size of this original book. It's going to be full color. There will still be some black and white illustrations because, again, it's supposed to be the idea of Scarlet in her journal, maybe doing a quick little sketch while she sees one of these cryptids, or maybe shortly thereafter, like on her, once she gets home, and it's like, okay, I got to put this down in the journal, trying to sketch out what she remembers. Plus, there'll be like, clippings from, the eyewitness she sees. So basically, like Jay Fife would be one of those eyewitnesses. Jay Fife saw it, and here's what he thought of the turtle that goes in there. And, we're doing it up so it looks like the images are like taped in, added into the book, so that it, gives that vibe and that feel of actually picking up her, actual journal. So everything is like in story, taken from Scarlett's point of view. Our buddy Brian Borgman, who's writing a couple of stories, they're going to take place from the perspective of his character Stratos from his game Kaiju Chaos. And then those would be put in there. I think his plan is he wants them to look like, emails that he sent. So we're going to do up that so it looks like, she printed out an email or, maybe a screenshot of an email into the book, things of that nature. And just, again, everybody's had fun with this thing and put together some great pieces of artwork. Rodney Fike has already contributed 2 pieces of artwork, plus he's writing a story, getting a little, taste of writing some of the Scarlet stuff. So, again, it's like we've kind of hit a little bit of everything in this whole book.
Well, Scarlet Huntress is one of my favorite indie comics, straight off the bat. She's a I love that Sean Forney guy.
Thank you, JB.
I love the way how she is a very strong female character. And I just love the way that you and Stephanie bring her to life in the comics. The cryptid thing is fantastic. Obviously, I'm going to back it. You just have to. I've got 11 days. It may be day 1 left, but it's gonna happen. But I also want to really do compliment you. I've been. Oh my gosh, what? You got to unmute yourself.
I'm ready to come back now.
Oh, are you? I couldn't tell.
He ate his vegetables and now he's back.
He's sitting there going, I'm like, oh, do you want something?
That's not what I look like. Finish what you were saying about backing.
But
I only recently backed.
Go ahead, Jesse.
No, I'm done.
Are you sure? Because I'm about to talk.
Go ahead.
As I was saying, I also want to compliment you, Sean. Because I've been there for yours and Rodney's journey, going from starting to do this stuff on Twitch and YouTube, doing your drawings, to collaborating together with Thursday night and Friday night, Thursday night throwdown, Friday night draw. And I just want to say congratulations on making that successful. How I've watched it grow. I watched it turn into a 30-minute sketch off, and then either talking about what's going on in your guys' days, or bringing on another creator after your 30-minute sketch off to talk about their work, or bringing in another guest as part of the sketch off. And I just want to say you guys are doing a massively great job.
Thank you. It's definitely been a learning experience. I mean, we've been flying by the seat of our pants trying to do all this stuff as we've we come up with an idea and it's like, okay, how do we make this work? And also with the technology, it's like 1 week we'll be like, man, why don't they make this available? And the next week, all of a sudden it's like, oh, StreamYard just added this feature. It's like, fantastic. Now we can do this.
Did you see you could do a mic check before you get into the StreamYard now?
Maybe. I don't know.
But and of course it did give us producer 1 and 2.
Producer A and B.
Yep.
And C and D.
Mm-hmm. So. All right. Now, Jesse, if you'd like to talk, you may.
I was just going to say that what I'd like to see you guys do next is recreate the BarCon experience by where you sit there and sketch and drink until you create something that's really awful, and then you start talking bad about other people. That's what I want to see recreated online.
So you weren't there for National Tequila Day?
No, I probably wasn't. I don't remember
National
that.
Tequila Day was a lot of fun. That was the highlight of my Thursday and Friday night experiences.
Nice.
We missed National Rum Day. Had at least something to drink for Beer Day. We keep toying around with the idea of doing after dark, even though we started at 8 o'clock in the evening, because
Right.
I forget who has the bigger hangups, whether it's Twitch or YouTube or Facebook. Somebody has this huge thing about swearing, and we get yelled at. We get squirreled quite a bit.
YouTube, Twitch,
Yeah.
you can do it.
So I don't know. So there might be a night where we, nix one of those places and just go all out and have an after dark and see how long it takes. See how far we can just push the limit before we get squirreled, which is our.
Have you seen Twitch? Holy jeez, it's like the Wild West over there.
Well, yeah, I keep seeing that Wild West pop up on the news and all these kids making like 6 figures because they go on this morning. It was because they're playing chess on Twitch. It's like, man, what are we doing wrong?
You're not playing chess on Twitch.
Yeah. Jesse, you want to start playing chess on Twitch and see if we can make 6 figures doing that?
I am an awful chess player, but I'll tell you who actually knows how to play and beats me every time or pulls me to a draw is Gray. My 8-year-old can beat me. I don't know if that says more about him or me, but
I don't know, but you should start streaming this on Twitch. Stream playing chess while you're eating that stupid hot sauce that we got you for your birthday.
I need to do that too. I haven't tasted that one yet. In fact, I'm going to have tofu here in a little bit. The food came and they're waiting for this to end before we eat. But maybe I'll put some of that on some tofu.
And you should totally put that on the internet so we can all watch and experience this fun.
I'll make a video and send it to you guys.
All right, that's it. We'll let that count.
No, I say we put them on StreamYard and we stream it to Champion and Gym City.
Yeah, well, we'll get on that.
I saw that on CBS Sunday morning, making 6 figures playing chess on Twitch.
Yeah, that's what I'm
just saying.
Like, what are we doing wrong?
You got to get the numbers. Look, you either got to get the numbers in to watch the ads, or you got to get the people to like you enough to give you the subscriptions. That's your only 2 choices for Twitch.
Maybe we should come up with like the watching paint dry channel.
Oh dear God!
There you go.
You train a camera on a wall and you put some paint on it and set a timer.
I just want to point out
because he knows that'd work.
That's like the least negative thing he said in the last hour, so we're just gonna go with it. All right. Conventions? Who wants conventions? You're a convention promoter. Shut up. You guys want to go? Yes, they do. He mutes. Look at him. He's being productive. He's wearing his mask next to his daddy. It's all right. Your daddy has had everything. He can't get sick anyway. But honey, I could do one better. Boom. There. You forget who's in charge. You think you the boss. You ain't the boss. That's why the boss is in this corner. No. But Sean, thank you so much for doing this. Sorry, Jesse tried to down your time.
That's all right. I put him up to this. I messaged him beforehand. I'm like, you're going to come on, right? And he's like, well, I was on there earlier today. I'm like, I wasn't.
He's even messaging me. Did you miss Sean? Did you not read your own things on Champion, which tells you what time he's going to be on? Hello?
That's why I have people to tell me where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do.
Oh,
By that,
Lord,
I mean a wife.
Yeah. You should see all the times I message him and be like, hey, remember what we're doing this weekend? He's like, no, what are we doing? I don't know. Our wives made plans. We got to be here.
Right. I remember now. Yeah. I knew all along. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But Sean, seriously, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for participating in this. It really means a lot. I'm sorry Jesse kept you a half an hour longer than you were supposed to be on, but it was totally worth it, I'm sure.
That's all right. I got to harass him for a little bit. It's all good. I
And
appreciate the opportunity to come on here and make a sales pitch and talk about the downfall of Western civilization and
the metal years.
Come and talk things with Debbie Downer over here.
It's not a
Like-
con if Jesse's not, making everybody question everything.
Right.
But as always, everybody, it is time to say farewell. So, of course, real quickly to cap off, make sure that you're checking out Sean Forney. Check out the Scarlet Huntress. If you want the actual link, boom, there it is. If not, I gotta go back. I gotta go find everything. There it is. Boom. That is the name of the Kickstarter. Of course, don't forget to check him out over on YouTube when he does his sketches and the Friday night draw. Of course, you could also check out Boom, that stuff over there on Twitch TV, Sean Forney Art. Check out his amazing Facebook and where you can find him over on Sean Forney or Sean Forney Illustration. He is on Twitter at Sean Forney Art. He is on Instagram at Sean Forney Art. And Sean Forney Illustration is the amazing website where you can find all the wonderful things that Sean does. He is a very talented artist, and I'm proud to call him friend.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was quite the mouthful there.
And well, if anybody's gonna have a mouthful, you can spit it out.
Jesse's look is priceless.
She didn't just say that.
That's what she said.
No, Danny, you didn't miss anything good. You just got to the good part. That and the ending.
Holy juice.
On that note, of course, as
Say
always,
goodnight, Gracie.
would you stop and let me finish? Make sure that you're following Champion City Comic Con over on Twitter and on Facebook. Make sure that you also get to watch her big sister, Gem City Comic Con, over on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, Richard, our one of the wonderful hosts that we had. Where can they find you?
Undergroundvideonetwork.com, and then you can find all our social links there.
And as for AGP, you can
Holy
find
jeez,
us over
that's the most you said all day.
And for AGP, you can find us over on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch TV, where we do all of our live streaming and the nice, semi-okay, cleanish videos. And if I can't clean it up, it doesn't go up on there on YouTube. But if you want to have the fun, it's Twitch. The spit part was great. But on that note, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you to all the amazing creators who came on and either did drawings or did panels, to Jesse Noble for putting this together, and of course to all the amazing people that were in the chat. Thank you so much for making our first Champion City Comic Con online available to you all and fun. And we will see you all on the next one. Say goodnight, boys.
Night.
Night.